blew my mind.
What blew your mind when we're talking about?
The purple heart shape, the synthetic
Yeah.
herb, whatever they
The heart-shaped herb was a problem for you?
nigga. They said, I guess they just thinks everybody's dumb.
Yeah.
How would you know if it works? If it lights up.
If it glows.
If it glows. What kind of bullshit is that?
Kids are watching the movie too. You got to understand. They need to understand what they're watching. What about the children? Won't somebody think of the children?
I guess they don't understand that adults have to take these kids to there, right? They need to entertain the adults too, right?
All right, heart-shaped herb, a meteorite that landed in the ocean hundreds of years ago, and the fish god told them to go and scrape this off the wall, this flower, and then crush it up, and then they died, and then they got brought back to life. Is that? Am I understanding that right?
I guess so. They got back, can't breathe.
When you
How you wake up and you can't breathe?
Flash,
They woke up and they couldn't breathe. Yeah.
Flash, everybody know when you wake up and you can't breathe, you're supposed to jump in some water.
Yeah.
Everybody know that.
Yeah,
Bro, it's a really good point. If you just wake up out of being unconscious and you just can't breathe,
I'm dead.
Oh,
you're gonna sit. There's gonna be a lot of dead motherfuckers, bro.
Hey, bro.
Suffocating.
And you've been a human for about 30 years, so all you know is breathing air.
Yeah,
That's the only way you know
what's
how to
gonna
breathe.
make you jump in water? So I just assumed I assume they knew they were transformed, mutated, that they had to get to that water. That's all I'm gonna assume. I'll just leave it at that. But it's the fact this shit didn't have. Let me see if he's in here, because I'm gonna say this didn't have any. Not a single male character was good in this movie. Mm-hmm. Not a single male character meant anything, and I really want to break that shit down with you guys. Think about this movie, like single black women looking after other little boys, Wakanda being able to be infiltrated left and right with no security, no advancement of technology being displayed everywhere. Their army, what army? They took about 25 people to a boat in the ocean to fight water people. That's smart.
25.
Let's listen for the final battle. Let's go fight these water people who have amazing water powers in water. Their home turf. Very smart. And when you look at the male characters, Namor, his cheeks was clapped from what Shuri did to him. Had him face down with his cheeks in the air, bro, with a burnt back. Turned him over and said, "Yield. You murdered my mama, but my mama calls to me from the ancestral plane at a moment's notice without needing a heart-shaped herb or anything. She could just communicate with me whenever she wants to. She says, remember who you are." Another popular line from the first Black Panther. And then she decides to spare him. She told you, yield. Yield for your people. Another line taken from the first Black Panther when when T'Challa had Baku with the leg scissors. Yield, man. Your people need you. And then he finally says, I yield. And then flies away with them and says, in unity, like, stop the fighting, stop the violence. It's a wrap. I just feel like he is a bitch. And Baku was another male character in this movie. He was a joke. They relegated him to pure comedy. I understand Baku in the first movie, he had a very dominant, when he first came to challenge for the throne, he was busting T'Challa's face up, bro. He was with the business.
He was almost a villain.
Yeah, he was
Very close to a villain.
He was like a villain in that movie, bro. Mm-hmm. Baku in the comics is very much a villain. So like I'm like, okay. So he did his shit. He was serious, but he also had a couple of jokes in there. But this movie is pure full-on jokes. He doesn't have there's no room for him to be anything else but the laughing stock or someone to create jokes in this movie. That's his goal. So that's another male that you really can't look up to. And then I'm not even talking about just black males. I think men in this movie in general were just hoed. Everett Ross is a white man who's in this movie, right? Everett Ross, his whole entire substance was running and dodging his ex-wife who was hoeing him at every moment.
Who's his boss as well.
Yeah, the ex-wife who is his boss, she had the investigation. She managed to bug Wakandan beads. Tell me how that's possible. I don't know how that's possible. How you could bug Wakandan technology with regular American technology. That shouldn't really go down that way. But freak it. It's a kid's movie. I'll take it. She arrests this man. She outsmarts this man. He's afraid of her. Locks this fool up. Puts him in an orange jumpsuit, bro. Like, even he had his balls in a vice. So I'm trying to think, like, dang, who's there to look up to? Where's Killmonger? Oh, yeah, they utilized Killmonger for sure. They brought that nigga back just to show that he's still evil and ain't learned shit. You brought back Michael B. Jordan to film those roles for that? For those lines?
Oh,
that's why you brought him back?
They brought him back for the women. Because gave him that Eric Benet sweater and put him with no shoes on. You know what I mean? That's what all the women was like, woo, yeah. So this wasn't even for us. We didn't even get him.
And he was showing him, he was being an antithesis of what Wakanda stands for. And I can't believe Michael B said yes to that. Like, that's how Michael B and Chadwick were friends. And there was no homage in this movie to his friend in real life. I thought Michael B. Jordan would have had a nice, a real compassionate role where it showed love, but nah. The way they utilized Michael B. Jordan, they should have never used him in the movie at all. He should have just said no. So we can't really use him as a male figure. Zuri, he's dead from 2018. T'Chaka's dead. T'Challa's dead. And Wakabi, Daniel Kaluuya, Okoye's husband, in a jail cell. So you either dead, a clown, or on your way to jail, or in jail. This was all about the women taking over. And even when it didn't make sense, even when I felt like you had to show a man, there's a scene where you had to show a man. You had to show T'Challa, which you're not because you said you're not going to recast him and you're not going to show him, or T'Chaka. When you drink that panther fluid that is completely artificially created with technology, what has no ties to Bast, has no ties to their gods. In fact, that freaking heart-shaped herb was derived from another fish god. And here you are in Wakanda praying to Bast to give you the powers of the Black Panther? Holy shoot, the disrespect is real. So she takes this artificial technology drink and then prays to the gods and then gets imbued with, and who do they call on to come and give her the powers to speak to her? Nope, not a king, not a former king, because that's what you got to do. You go to the former king, the former Black Panther, and they pass it on. Nah, they called to Ramonda, who died 5 minutes earlier. So you calling to Ramonda to come to Shuri and not an actual former Black Panther? Not an actual king of Wakanda? In that moment is when it would hit me like a slap in the face. Oh my God, they don't want to show men in this movie. I get it. Freak this movie, bro. Sad. What you think?
I don't know the lore of what's canon in Black Panther like you.
Just go off the Black Panther movie.
I thought everybody goes to the ancestral plane. But when you told me that
yeah, they do. But when you have a proper burial, you do. You lived honorable, had a proper burial, you go. But when you become Black Panther for the first time by taking the heart-shaped herb, you only going to see one person.
Because I felt like, she should be going to her ancestral plane. And she wasn't even dead long enough. I was still in shock. First of all, I was in shock when she died. There was no reason for you to kill her. We could have got another 2 movies out of her. She was the only real regal person in there. I didn't like seeing her with her wig on, with her white afro. That looked like somebody auntie in church playing the organ, Miss Bessie down the block. I wanted to see Angela Bassett in the most, they not going to show me Queen Elizabeth getting out of bed. She going to come out, her hair is done, she going to be in I want to see the African regal royalty. That's why we into this. Is Zumamba coming to America on steroids, man. Give me that. I don't need to see her with an S curl.
Right.
I'm good.
That's funny.
And on top of that,
I already see that enough in the studio, bro. We get enough of S curl, Jerry drip. We get enough of that shit already, bro. So we don't need no more of that shit.
And the worst part is the whole world is looking for vibranium. I understand. And they trying to make a machine to find it. And then Elaine from Seinfeld finds 8 ounces of vibranium and decide it'd be better to hook a listening device to the guy, to the vibranium on the Okoye beads, when you could just leave you could leave your phone on speakerphone and leave it in your car when you roll with him. And he gonna drive somebody 8 hours away for no. It was just so like I understand we are lending ourselves to make believe, but there is no ex-wife in the world that can get her husband to drive her 8 hours somewhere at the drop of a dime. Yeah, your boss or not, your ex-wife. Yo, drive me to Poughkeepsie real quick. To where? Call up any of y'all exes right now. See if they'll drive you 8 hours with a day's notice. More or less. I'm going to Langley. Let's go. It was just so weird and random. He didn't need to be in. I understand they need to move the plot forward, but that's what post-credit scenes are for. We really want to get her involved. I don't need her in the middle of my movie when I'm not getting enough Chadwick. And I know Chadwick is gone, but I'm sure they had outtakes and outros and all type of footage of him that they could have used somehow or another. And I just didn't think that they loved him. They might have loved him in real life, and maybe they stayed away from it. You know how some people be like, yo, I don't want to go to the funeral because I just can't take it. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they couldn't take it. But I felt like they had everything, a perfect storm. They had a real life death. This is something we don't get in the movies very often, thank goodness. But we could have really felt something for Chadwick, for the legacy. I just feel like it was a cool movie, but it was a missed opportunity for us to really mourn the death of the real man and mourn the death of all of our other black heroes. Because I really wanted to see. I feel like little boys need heroes, and black boys needed a black hero, and they got one movie, and then they couldn't relive that. I felt like they should have doubled down when they held their cards close to their chest.
All right, so this is Jody's Corner. People gonna talk to me in this motherfucker, bro. Christian Black, Swag Kage, J Beast, Trixie, 5-star up in this hole, Thundercat up in this motherfucker. So I want to ask questions. We got a Christian Black.
What is that?
Is he snoring?
No, that's my daughter. My bad.
Oh, it's all right. Okay, cool. It's a ram. Sound like
I thought
Donald Duck.
I thought somebody was breastfeeding.
No, I'm holding my daughter in my hand while I'm holding the phone.
She getting them Z's in. All right, go ahead, baby girl. All right, so listen, we got the subscribers here. They're going to talk to me. First and foremost, I need to know who in here. Trixie, pro Wakanda Forever, or are you against it?
Again,
you can pick the middle if you want.
As a standalone Marvel film, it was watchable. Was it Black Panther? No. Did it tribute properly? Fuck no. No.
Okay, so she's a no. 5-star, where you at?
You already know I'm a no.
He's a no. Swag Kage, we I want you to say it.
I would be pro.
He's a pro. He's pro Black Panther. Who is that character? Is that a Naruto? Who is that?
Hey, yo, don't pay.
You're not supposed to be looking at him.
Don't pay attention to it. Do not pay attention to it.
What
nah,
you
we don't know
mean?
who that is.
Don't look at him. Character. Who's that?
Do
not look at him.
Swag,
Swag, why would you come in here with a spoiler, my nigga?
Put your face up. Put your face in.
Swag, why would you come here with a spoiler, my nigga?
Come on, Shuri.
Man, that nigga look tight. Who is that?
Don't worry about him.
Don't worry about it.
Swag, you ain't shit,
He in Boruto, bro. Don't worry about it.
All right, Christian Black, you pro Black Wakanda Forever or against it?
Nah, bro. Ain't no only way I feel like being pro Black Panther 2 would be betraying my ancestors, bro.
Whoo!
Oh wow!
Shit.
I saw this movie I saw it twice as a courtesy, and my grade lowered the second time I watched it.
Oh shit! Hey, young Thundercat, where you at with it, bruh?
I was an A-, then I saw it the second time and it lowered for me too, but it only lowered to like a B+.
Okay, so you're pro Black Panther Wakanda.
Yeah.
Okay, so young Thundercat, you're gonna be on teams with Swag Kage. You know, there's gonna be more people that don't like it than do in this call, which is perfectly fine. I'll make sure that it's fair. Everybody will have something to say, but I already know where J Beast is at. J Beast, where you at, bro?
Sadly, I am against.
Yeah, yep.
Sadly.
I'm with you, bro. Yeah, it's sad, bro. This is a sad situation.
This is not what I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Okay,
feel you on
so um, so we have Swag probably went to go change his image.
Yeah.
He's back in here. Let me get him back in.
Tight.
I already saw it, Swag, motherfucker. All right, but yeah, there we go.
Oh my God! Look what he put.
Darkseid pulled his cape.
I got a message. Message.
That's
Wow, Swag.
That's Batman, Superman, Apocalypse right there. That's usually funny. All right, so Trixie, I guess I'll let you go first. Background on Trixie. Trixie's in the UK. Trixie's a supporter of JC, and Trixie's seen the movie, and that's enough. That's all you need. Go ahead, Trixie.
So as a standalone Marvel film, yeah, it was watchable. I'm going to make a couple of points that you actually brought up, Joe, to be quite fair. What I didn't like about it is we all know what Black Panther is. He's like a role model, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? And the fact is, you're right. There's no male role models in this one. None of them are particularly strong. Like, women have blatantly beat their men into submission. I just don't like the way they kind of bitches need to stay out of things. Like, do you know what I mean? There's a story, and tell that freaking story. Just because you don't like the story doesn't mean you can go off on your own freaking tangent. And it basically bugs me with every film that when they kind of go, that's a set, that's the character, that's the story. And then some stupid fucking girl goes in there and goes, oh, I don't like that. We're going to change it. We're going to do this. Why? There was nothing wrong with it. Like, stop fixing shit that ain't broken. Add to it, maybe. Build on it. Like, but it's bad because little boys will look at this and kind of either grow up hating women because they're seeing, like, their heroes being battered down by them, or they're going to grow up weak because they feel that's what they should be. And neither scenario is good, So I don't, and that's one of my main reasons for not liking it.
Trixie, so you're a woman who are you a woman who believes that there's an agenda in this movie at play?
100%.
100%. 100%. And you being a woman, you don't want that. You're not for that.
Hell no. Mate, if women want to be fucking like powerful and masculine, that's their fucking problem. Like, do you know what I mean? That's their problem, let them fucking do it. Other girls, do you know what I mean? They want to be supportive, let them be supportive. But like trying to push an agenda to make all women like fucking butch lesbians can fuck right off.
Right. And this is, I think the UK operate a little bit different than America out here, but I can't really judge it off of one person. Trixie, I agree with you 100%. I believe that men and women should be treated equal, but we're not the same. We're not equal as far as who we are. Like, we're different. We're different. We're the same species, but different.
Yeah, we bring different things down, and we should be appreciated for our different things. Stop trying to do shit that we're supposed to be doing.
It is our differences that make us attracted to each other.
100%.
Opposites attract is a very popular saying for a reason. So that's Trixie's take on there. So Trixie's against. She said her take. Young Thundercat, you were here earlier as well. Do you want to go ahead and rebuttal that and say why you think Wakanda Forever is actually a good movie? And a lot of us here are kind of just blowing this out of proportion. We're tripping.
I don't think you're blowing it out of proportion. I don't know. I just think that, and maybe it's actually because where I am in my life with like losing people that's close to me. I thought it was a good film on how different people deal with loss. I thought that it had some great moments. I thought it had some bad moments. I don't know. It's just like, I don't.
Why is it a good movie? Why is it good? What makes this movie good? Like what's your grade for the first Black Panther?
Oh, first Black Panther is an A+. It's definitely not as good as the first Black Panther, right?
Okay.
It's a serviceable movie. It's watchable. I actually like Shuri's character arc. I understood why she wanted to see Killmonger. I understood that need for revenge in that moment. I don't know anything about the comics, so Namor was fine to me. I guess I don't see the agenda you guys are talking about here.
So Namor is the Marvel equivalent to Aquaman.
Right.
In everything, comics, whenever he's mentioned in a TV show, but except this movie, they completely changed him to a Hispanic culture. They renamed Atlantis Toyokan or whatever it's called, and they just flipped everything up and made it different.
Right. So I mean, again, me not knowing that, not being in the I didn't read comics as a kid. That this wasn't my thing.
Right.
But
that's fine. That's fine.
So me just going into this without knowing anything about Namor, I was fine with Namor.
You don't think that he was emasculated?
No. Not at all. I don't. Just because he lost the fight to Shuri, I don't think he was emasculated. I think he was.
It's not losing the fight. It's how he lost the fight.
I don't. I mean, so again, I don't think that makes him emasculated. I don't. Just losing the fight or how he lost the fight to Shuri, I don't think that makes him emasculated. I think throughout most of the movies, we saw him being strong. I mean, he killed the Queen of Wakanda. He was able to infiltrate Wakanda. He was doing these masculine things. I thought he was treating Shuri when he was showing her like Talakhan. Thought he was treating her with kid gloves. He was like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna kill this girl whether you like it or not. I'm just trying to make you understand why I'm going to kill her." Um, so I don't think he was emasculated at all. I think
He had to yield,
I
right?
think he had
You
to
remember?
yield. Yeah, he had to yield, but just because he lost doesn't mean he's emasculated. He
No,
lost.
no, no, no. He yielded to Shuri so that
But he yielded to
his
Shuri.
her so she what did Shuri tell him? Save your people.
Right, he tells him to say, he tells her to save your people, but there's also another scene right after that where the girl asks him. She says, "Why did you yield?" And he says,
Right.
"She's gonna need us. She's gonna
Right.
need us because eventually,
I'm glad you brought that
talking
up.
about the United States, they're gonna come for them, and we're
Yes.
her only allies right now." So
Which lets you know that Namor had a different objective in his mind.
right,
Why he
so
yielded, right?
right,
So I would say Namor yielded to then once the Black Panther came, he knew he wasn't better than the Black Panther. That's the mindset he took. He
right.
said the Black Panther is the greatest warrior in history, and now the Wakandans will need us so we could be like part B. He completely switched the switch. First, it's I'm gonna kill you all. I will take over Wakanda.
But I didn't
You guys
see
are
it.
done. And then it switched to you're gonna need us one day, so let's be their sidekick.
I didn't see it as him switching. I saw it as him being like, my goal is to take over land. I want to ultimately get revenge for what I saw when I went to bury my mother.
No, that wasn't
Ultimately,
it. That wasn't the goal. The goal was
ultimately,
to force Wakanda to go to war with the surface
what
dwellers.
what exactly? But he sees that the surface dwellers are gonna go to war with Wakanda anyway. The like,
So he changed up.
I mean, but he changed up, but it made sense to me why he changed up. He changed up because he saw they were gonna go to war anyway. Why does he have to force it now?
Well, how did you see that they're going to go to war anyway? What in this
Because
movie
the
made you think?
because the United States blamed Wakanda for everything because Wakanda wouldn't tell them about Namor.
Yeah, there's nothing in this movie that said that they're going to go to war for sure.
I
That's
don't.
Well, you have
I
that
Namor.
mean,
scene where what is it, like the French or whatever? They're sending people to go
Yeah,
and
mhm.
find the
to try to
vibranium. Like
get
you can
what?
already
Yeah,
see they're
You
trying
can
to
already
find
see
that resource, go to war because of
they're
that.
planting the seeds that.
that's not going to war. They were trying to get the resource, and then Ramonda
I mean, did
says
we not do the same thing in real life? I mean, a bunch of other countries get resources and we started wars because of that shit.
Right. I mean, they're planting the seeds that eventually they're going to go after Wakanda to get their vibranium. They planted the seeds for that throughout the whole movie, and I feel like
they're
Namor.
going to they're going to go after Wakanda. I don't. You don't go after Wakanda.
You don't.
It doesn't.
I don't. That doesn't mean it's going to be successful. That doesn't mean I like where their story is going. But those
I,
are the seeds I think they were planting throughout this movie, and I think Namor ultimately said, "I see those seeds. They're everybody's blaming. I don't know how he knew. That's a different issue in itself. But they are blaming Wakanda for everything that has transpired in this movie, from the shit in the beginning of the movie to them somehow planting Ross's beads. He somehow knows all of that and saw what was happening. So I think he was fine with yielding at that moment. That's what he told the girl at the end. I don't think that's emasculation. I think that's he lost. He saw that he lost, but he saw that he might ultimately get his goal, which is
So Namora is the female who, at the end of the movie, who was questioning his leadership and masculinity at the end
mm,
because he bowed down and was not acting like a king. That's the reason why she was getting on his head,
yeah.
and
But
he was trying to
sometimes,
convince.
I mean, sometimes, and this is I don't agree with some of the stuff we talk about on here about like masculinity and femininity. Sometimes being a king and giving up doesn't mean you're being emasculated. It means that
Sure,
some
it does.
I
And
don't.
and the way he went out, his back got burned from a shit, bruh. They dehydrated that nigga, and his cheeks was in the air, bro, face down in the dirt. What are you talking about?
I
Wait,
don't.
are you serious, Jody?
Who's talking to me?
Me, Swag. Are
That's
you
whack.
serious?
That's whack.
Yeah, in a moment. Yes, I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I don't think the way. I don't think because he lost. I don't think the way he lost made him That's just my opinion.
But the character in this movie, the character was challenging him for being weak, showing weakness. I followed you in the battle, and then you do this. You bow down to the Wakandans, because that's exactly what he did. He bowed down to the Wakandans. If you missed this, the movie was him dominating the Wakandans, and then all of a sudden, once the Black Panther arose, he bowed down, and then he upped it. The Black Panther is the greatest warrior of all time, and now the Black Panther could be our ally.
It wasn't.
Whoa.
It wasn't just like
that's what he said.
But it wasn't just like, okay, he was beating them the entire movie. He was. It wasn't just like he all of a sudden started to lose. Shuri figured him out. She was like, "Oh, we can dehydrate him. That's where his power comes from." She figured him out.
That fight was trash.
No, the fight was trash.
Namor was beating the shit out of her, and all of a sudden she got the upper hand because of, I don't know, the direction of that.
No, the fight was trash. The fight was trash.
He was serving her up, and
but the logic behind it is that her and Riri, who's my biggest problem with this movie, like, how are you recreating Iron Man without mentioning Iron Man once? But her and Riri figured out, hey, we can dehydrate this guy.
That's your biggest problem with the movie, not the fact that they made a fake heart-shaped herb from another god in technology.
I don't see the issue with that, to be honest.
Okay.
Again, I'm not as versed in the lore as you guys are. I will admit that. I don't see the issue with it. I mean, in the last movie,
it's in the first Black Panther movie.
I mean, no, it's in the first Black Panther movie, but in the first Black Panther movie, we also saw that Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, he destroyed all the heart-shaped herbs. So we knew there had to be a way for her, or for someone to recreate it for them to be the next Black Panther, because we knew they weren't recasting T'Challa.
No.
A better way to do that would have been going the scientific way of using his blood.
She did do that, though. She used his DNA.
You went halfway with it. You mainly relied on the fucking bracelet thing. You could have gone the scientific way and done it.
But
I used DNA on my brother. Just the DNA alone.
She did
and
use some of the DNA to mix
the herb from that shit, because that's how you would have done it scientifically.
She did, but
the
you have to
bullshit of the MacGuffin.
5-star. Are you a scientist?
Bro, that's usually how you do that shit. Even with vaccines.
No, they use DNA. They use DNA. They implant.
They did
vaccines.
use some of his DNA.
They used his DNA. That's what happened. Then they used because
they didn't say why they used his DNA though.
They didn't say why he used it. It was just kind of going.
They didn't say why.
We just know that they did. They did not say why.
Wait, I'm just trying to understand real
like
quick.
You said, this was a kids movie.
Yes.
Aren't they supposed to explain that?
Yeah.
When 5-star said they should have done it scientifically, what do you mean by that?
They did do it scientifically. That's my argument.
No, but for 5-star, I want to know what he means by that.
Again, you would have gone the way. You don't really need the bracelet. The bracelet, we can all come to the conclusion it was just thrown in there to tie in the freaking blue rock from the Atlanteans or whatever, right? We can all agree with that shit.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I have a bigger problem with him giving away his mama's
bracelet
bracelet than using that.
Let 5-star get it off before you interrupt him.
All you really needed was the DNA of T'Challa, the blood of T'Challa, because his blood will have the heart-shaped herb stuff in there. Kind of like a vaccine. It will be in his DNA. Because it's pumping throughout his whole body, right? Because he took the herb, all that stuff. All you had to do was recreate it from that DNA alone, which she failed in the beginning. But you're telling me, after years and all the technology, she couldn't keep trying to research it, keep trying to solve the equation, and then solve the fucking equation herself without using that bullshit bracelet? Like, come on, that's trash.
That was the point, though. She tried it in the beginning of the movie, which admittedly felt hollow, because at the end of the day, we knew there was no hope. She was never going to save him in that moment. But the point of her story arc was she tried it in the beginning. She tried to use his DNA and his blood to save him. She couldn't.
The whole story arc is I tried to save my brother and I failed.
Yeah, I mean, that's people deal with grief. That's how people deal with grief. If you fail,
it would have been better to.
That doesn't make a good movie.
I can
when she goes to the ancestral plane, she could have had a way better redemption thing. Or
I can clear this up for 5 stars. So, I mean, we can get into the sciences, but before even that, at the beginning of the movie, the problem was Killmonger even said it multiple times in the movie. Killmonger had destroyed all the heart-shaped herb. If they had the heart-shaped herb, they would have been able to use it on T'Challa to save him, right? The problem is, it was diminishing in his body, right? He has to take it. He can't just take it one time and he's a Black Panther forever. He needs to continuously take it, or else it just fizzles out of his body, right?
No,
So
that's not true. But keep going.
Wait,
I
when did
mean
they
that.
establish
if that
that?
was not if
That's not
That,
true.
yeah,
That's not
exactly.
true.
That never gets established.
Well, it never
That's
got
not true.
if
established, but that was kind of the half-ass explanation that they gave at the beginning of the movie.
of
No, that
No,
was never
no,
established at
that's not
all.
true. That is not a
Never,
That's
thing.
not
I
never,
even
refute
true.
that.
never a thing.
Right.
L.
okay, so it wasn't that it wasn't established. That is the explanation they give you at the beginning, the middle, at the end of the movie. They kept saying Killmonger burned all the herbs. They did not have the herbs that they needed to rescue T'Challa, right? So
Right. They
if you're implying they could just use T'Challa's body, the reason why the machine said it was only at 27 or 29% is because there wasn't enough of it inside his body. So obviously
I'll
they
hit you
Not
with
used
another
wrong.
curveball. I'll hit you with
That's
another
not
curveball.
true.
No,
log.
it's
You
that.
could
I
use the
will agree with
DNA.
you.
That's
Look at
incorrect.
this.
I will
Look
agree
at this.
with
You
you,
could
Jody,
use the
that it's
DNA
bad
of.
explanation, but that's the explanation they gave. That doesn't mean it's
No,
good.
you.
Just because you
No,
say it's not,
you.
but
that's
You're
not
not
what
getting it right. You guys are wrong. You guys didn't get it from the movie correctly. You guys are running
T'Challa
this
that's
and
movie. The movie's
N'Jaka
not
both
telling you.
have the herb in them, and you telling me you couldn't use N'Jaka's
that's
blood or T'Challa's blood
well that
to
We're
recreate the
getting
herb?
off. Oh, somebody, Christian. I'll give you a chance to clarify that. If
okay.
you're trying to get in, and I want you to clarify that, so I don't have to. Go ahead, Christian.
Well, I was going to say, number one, they did not say anything about the fact that the heart shaped herb was out of his body. Because if that's the case, then you would have to, then that makes part one make no sense. Because he had the heart shaped herb when he fought, when he was healing from some of the trauma that he had, even back in the first movie, that would mean he would have had to take it then. That doesn't make sense. From the battle, battle at the end of the movie. That doesn't make sense. Even with what they were doing at the beginning of the film, they established that he was sick. And even throughout the film, they said he was sick. She was trying that when they showed the DNA, she was already trying to make a synthetic herb. And they were using that as she was trying to essentially 3D print an herb from his DNA. It had nothing to do with the fact that he has to keep retaking it. That would just make no sense for him to retake it. That would mean he was that the heart shaped herb was useless from the get go.
if that
That's
is
the
the
problem. That's the problem with writing the beginning of the movie with him dying from a quote unquote disease because it really doesn't make sense because he has a healing factor. So because
Exactly.
he has a healing factor, any disease he has in his body, that's with any Marvel character, from that matter. If and they established it within the MCU, if you have a healing factor, you can't like average diseases and stuff. You can't get hurt. That's why even with the
I gotta
Hulk
cut
in
in
this,
for a second. Because you're not hitting the point that they were confused on. When they were saying when she only had 26% efficacy rating for the heart shaped herb to heal T'Challa, it was because she was synthesizing one on her own, and everything that she used from her vibranium knowledge to synthesize one with T'Challa's DNA only amounted up to that percentage. It wasn't until she got the vibranium rich soil plant from under the ocean from the fish god that it brought the efficacy up to 96%, 98%. That's what she needed. She was never going to get it to save her brother unless she had the freaking fake Atlantean fish gods rock, my nigga. And that's why it
It was the
pisses me off.
soil. Yeah, it was the soil.
okay?
She said it was
Yes.
the soil.
Clarifying question. Clarifying question. You say that she was using one on her own. What are you referring to specifically?
She was synthesizing a heart shaped herb with what she had in her lab, and it wasn't enough.
I thought they were all gone.
no,
No,
she
but
was
She was
using
trying
what
to
yeah.
create. She was creating one. She was trying with. They were gone. You're correct.
Okay,
All the
so you
herbs were
see-
gone, swag.
Okay.
She was trying to 3D print one on her own, and it wasn't strong enough.
Exactly. So here's the thing, right? You didn't actually refute anything. My point was they were all gone.
Thanks.
She needed to get
Let
on.
him keep going.
She needed to make the synthesized one, whatever. Fuck. She needed to make the new one, right?
Synthesize.
Yeah,
the
my bad.
synthetic one.
She needed to make the new one out of its original source. She needed an original source to get like the full percentage, right? She can't just make it out of thin air. That was the issue. So that doesn't really refute my point. Now we can get into the sciences,
Yes,
but
it does.
I think this is a irrelevant point because let's be honest, right? This is a superhero movie. Like, have you ever seen this being replicated in real life? Like, being able to use a human DNA to print out an herb? Does that even make any sense at all? It makes no
It's
sense. Right?
ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think of. To see a 3D printer create a heart-shaped herb blessed by the Bast Panther God is blasphemous, my nigga.
Right.
Well,
So
okay.
no. It's not. It's not blasphemous. It's blasphemous in terms of real world sciences, right? When we enter
No,
this,
it's blasphemous in terms of the lore of Black Panther. Bast is what gives the Black Panther his powers. How the freak does Shuri get powers without the love and the faith in Bast?
okay, so that's the issue. The issue is that it's not comic accurate, right? Have we
No,
identified the
nigga. Comic, nigga, is not Black Panther 1 accurate, my nigga.
Okay, so wait. How is it not Black Panther 1 accurate? This is an entirely new concept.
Does Shuri believe in the culture and Bast?
No.
She should never be Black Panther then.
She
Period.
I don't think in the movie. I don't think in again. And this is me. Maybe
Period.
I mean maybe
Why?
I need to go rewatch Black Panther. But
Oh my God!
I don't
if you don't
think-
believe in
Even in this
Bast,
movie,
you
she
ain't
didn't wanna
never
do
gonna
the
be Black
barrel.
Panther.
Wait, did they even talk about Boss in the first one? I don't
They
think
talked about Boss. Yes,
They
talked
talked about
Yeah,
Who
they
you
do.
talking
They talked
Who you
about
talking
Boss,
about?
but
Yeah.
I don't think they made
They
it
call
clear.
on
they
Bast.
never.
They call on Bast every time someone drinks that goddamn heart-shaped
But
herb,
They
bro.
never
That's
said Boss.
tradition. They never said that's
Yes, they
because
did
of
say Bast in this movie, my nigga. Miss me.
no. They say
They
Boss.
said Bast.
And they said Boss in the last movie, but that's more tradition.
They
They
said
never
Bast
made
in
it.
this movie.
They
They
do as
said
well.
Bast in this movie.
They do as well, but they never made it established
No,
in
they
the
did not say.
first movie
Okay.
where they got these powers because of Blast. It was more of the heart
What?
shaped
Okay,
orange because
well
of anything.
that's not true. They
Whoa, whoa,
literally
whoa,
say
oh my
that with
God! Where does the heart-shaped herb come from?
The vibranium, rich soil,
Where does the vibranium come from?
space. They said it was a
The
meteorite.
Wakandan god Bast is what opens to the ancestral plane. The soil of Wakanda, the god of Wakanda, enriched that soil with the vibranium to create the heart-shaped herb. That heart-shaped herb cannot be created without Bast.
That's. I mean, I don't.
Do you understand? When you saw the movie, right?
Right.
You saw underwater, the freaking Aquaman people prayed to their god to help us. And their god told that fisherman where to find the plant to
Which is
save their
also
people.
made out of vibranium, so it can't come from Boss.
I'm missing you.
No.
I'm missing you. Hold on. The only reason why that plant is iconic is because over the hundreds of years, their freaking god that they worship, they had a fish god that they worship. I forgot his name, but they were praying to him in this movie, and their god, the fish god, answered their prayers, and he talked to the man and told him exactly where to dive and where to find the plant that god that freaking where the vibranium in that soil was being developed over the hundreds of years to save them as a people. The god even told them how to create it, how to break it down and turn it into that soup and for them to drink it. My nigga, that same thing happens in Wakanda with Bast. So in essence, we know that gods are tied to the herbs now. Well, at least you learned that today. So for you to take a freaking herb from a fish god, bring it to Wakanda, and then ask Bast to bless that shit is blasphemous.
He didn't. Okay, she didn't take a herb from there. She took the necklace, right? So
It came from that.
She derived her version of the heart-shaped herb through the necklace, right? They have a
The
lot
necklace came from where? Where'd the necklace come from?
It came from the sea, right? From
Yes, it
Came
came
from the
that
soil
same
that
shit.
the plant was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from what I got from the movie, right, and especially at the end, they showed a
that's
mural.
what- let's move on.
At the end, they showed a mural of two gods. They showed the Panther god and they showed their god fighting, right? So I think what they're kind of insinuating is that they both have a lot in common, and they're both like both
The only problem I
herbs.
have with that is they didn't say it. You can't use that as a narrative thing if they didn't really explain that in the movie. I mean,
Go watch Black
But
Panther
that's-
1
Wait,
and
why-
listen to
that's-
listen to Killmonger talk to his father in the first 5 minutes of Black Panther 1, and he'll talk about Bast and the meteorite and hitting Wakanda and then protecting it and then worshiping it and creating that shit, bro. Go back and watch it.
But
All this means is that there were two different gods who blessed
Yes.
the same plant, even though those two plants have similar genetic coding.
But
Or
Two different.
they're
they're two
different plants
very
though.
similar.
They're two different ones. They're not the same. Please don't.
They're different plants
They have to
that
be-
begin.
To be able to derive an original sample that they already have. They have to be similar. She even
The
noticed.
only thing that's in
It's like what you're saying is they got the Quran, they got the Christian cross. Take the cross to the Muslims and have the Muslim God bless it so you can become a superhero, nigga.
That
That shit is
no, 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 no,
blasphemous.
no, that's not okay. Let's look at it from this way. Let's say there's a Bible, and then there's the Quran. Let's say the
Yeah.
pages of both books are from the same material. Do you not understand, right? If I take
No, it's not
one
the same
book,
Got
material. It's
you.
not the same.
It is
No.
though. The
it's
Quran
the same
and Bible,
material.
they have very
Oh,
similar
fuck.
stories.
I'm
They have
not talking.
similar
Oh my god.
stories.
Oh, holy shit.
So we're
All
talking
right.
about the two gods. I mean, it's a similar plant.
Before this gets really bad.
Oh goddamn.
And I honestly think this point is irrelevant because this is all fictional science, anyways. Right? A lot of these.
Oh, they come on.
Well, I
Come
will
on.
say this. Like, okay, so number one, at the very beginning of the movie, they clearly state what Jody was saying that the Panther God Boz, they prayed to the Panther God Boz, who basically blessed the plant to make it the heart shaped herb.
That doesn't change.
The the god that was in Tolokan, yes, they did get a plant also. But the only thing that's common between the two is vibranium, and that's where it stops. So
Right.
for her to use that plant
Oh, E-Man, can you
to
turn it off?
break the and to take the basis of that and make vibranium of the vibranium of that plant, and then to make an artificial heart shaped herb. First off, how the heck is she even getting? How the heck is she even getting to the ancestral plane with that in the first place?
Facts.
Um,
How do you
but
get into a
that's
spiritual realm with technology, my nigga?
right. But also in playing devil's advocate, right? Let's just say you, based off what I've been hearing, you're saying essentially this was uh, a show of like faith or whatever. But even still, even after she got the power, even after she came out and she saw Killmonger, she still didn't believe. She technically still don't believe, even despite the fact that she became Black Panther. She still technically don't believe. So that in itself is problematic with just the Black Panther. But even outside of that, like besides the fact of how she got her powers, this movie, after watching it the second time, I gave it personally a C. But after watching it the second time, I realized like that was just being way too generous because this movie really deserves a D. It really does because there's a lot of things in this movie that makes no sense. Bugging Wakandan tech when you establish in the first movie that that Wakandan tech was light years ahead of everyone else. Number one. Number
Yep.
Right.
two, also showing the fact that the Wakandan nation being
Wait.
so
Can we go one point of a time at a time?
Yeah, it's
okay,
best that way.
Okay, so
okay, all right.
you said the Wakandan tech, right, was established in the first movie to be light years ahead of every other civilization, right? So what's the problem in
Yes,
this movie that disregards that fact or makes you like, oh, this doesn't make sense?
she bugged Wakandan Tech. She also said that she bugged it before that 8 hour drive that
Yeah.
Ross put her on. That doesn't make sense.
I
How are
feel
you
like that might
bugging?
be it. That's a little bit of a nitpick that
That
I just throw out
No,
there.
it makes
That
sense because
there's
she
much
said
bigger issues
she
I
knew my
think she
man.
with the
She
movie.
knew
I
he
think
was
she
gonna take
bugged
it.
it
He knew
before
You
he was
No,
gonna
can't
what?
take
bug.
it.
You
No,
can't
what?
bug
No.
Wakandan tech, bro. An American
Yeah, that's
cannot
what I'm
bug
saying.
Wakandan tech. That's
Yeah, it's
bullshit.
more like a
I
nitpick.
Yeah,
How
think
did he
that's
even
my
get this
point.
So
vibranium?
are we saying that we
Yeah,
don't? Are we saying that we don't
I hear
think?
you
Are we
just fine.
saying that we
You don't gotta do
think
that.
that if you put a bug,
that makes
a
absolutely
listening
no.
device
Hold up.
on some beads, the beads are supposed to just magically dissolve the listening device?
That makes absolutely.
No,
No, what I'm
but
saying
no,
is
but
not supposed to be compatible. That's like you trying
That's
to take your Sega
not how
Genesis
bugging
controller
works.
and hook it up to a PS5
So do you
No,
know?
and
it's not.
expecting it to
That's
work.
no,
Wait, do
no,
you
it's
know
not.
how? Do
That's
you know
putting
how? Hold
a
up.
camera on the Sega Genesis to spy on someone. That's not putting a controller from a different
Hey,
device.
do you have
That's
the?
putting a
No,
camera on it.
Hold up.
no.
but
What
the
I
Black. Let me ask you a question real quick. Do you have the Find My iPhone app on your phone?
I don't have an iPhone. I got an Android.
Okay, but you know how
Android
Yes,
have
yes. It's
Sam-
just
But
Android.
Android have
Samsung got something similar.
okay, so
Samsung
you know
got
how
something
some
similar.
services, have like the tracking devices, right? Where you can track
Right.
okay.
the device, right? So unless you specify that those buds or whatever those things were, those beads have like a sort of EMP that can like disrupt the signal, all it really is a tracking device. That's really all it is. Used by
She
satellite to
Uh,
was
track. That's all
listening
it is.
to
put
his
a
conversation.
Yeah, you can listen to
exactly. That
the
does not
tracking
make
device you
sense.
can listen to
That
as well.
that that
No,
look
she
for my
said
iPhone app. You don't hear no
They would
conversation.
absolutely know that they were
exactly.
hacked. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She said she bugged it, but what she meant was in that sense because she was listening to the his conversations, she hacked it. How
Yeah,
are you
but
no.
hacking?
what?
How
She
are you
didn't say
hacking
she hacked
Wakandan
it.
tech?
She didn't
The
say she
only
hacked it.
the
She said
only
she
argument
bugged
you
it.
would have is if you assume that she was able to listen through the buds, but who says she wasn't listening through his own voice, right?
She said it.
No,
She
no, no,
said I
She
no.
was
said it.
listening to
She,
you the entire time.
yeah, listening to
No.
their
Go
conversation.
ahead.
All
She's
you need to hear, she only needed to hear one person. That's all she needed to hear.
well,
She was listening to their
well
conversation
they
implies the fact that she was hearing both sides of the conversation.
No,
That's
that's
how
why he went.
she.
That's why he went to jail because she could hear both sides of the
Exactly.
conversation.
Yes,
she
Well,
and
doesn't
But the
need to
everything.
hear
problem, but
both
my problem
sides.
for that,
She
and I
doesn't need
don't
to
think it's a nitpick, is if the world is looking for vibranium and you find 9 balls of communication beads that are made of vibranium, ain't it time to get that American tech and try to cut them open or put them under a
but
microscope
you
and
can't.
study
You
it or
can't. You that's
It,
already been established. You
so it's
can't.
better to just leave it in. It's
There's
more use
it's
in this
ultimately
Under
guy's
a cup.
car, in this
ultimately
guy's
that
car,
it's not.
rather than you
I'm
trying to
sorry.
test it for the next 3 months.
Wait, who
Well,
says
so
they can't? Who says they can't?
right, because he
Cause
still
it
I,
has
I,
the
messing
wa-
with
beads.
him.
I don't even want to spend too much time on
Because
this
if I
dumb
remember,
shit.
what was
Hey,
the thing?
how about a 19-year-old girl, my nigga, is the only one in the world that could develop a machine
Wait,
that
wait,
can
wait, wait.
freaking
Because
scan
you're
vibranium,
pivoting.
my
You're
nigga.
pivoting for
And
something
the
very
freaking
different.
I don't want to spend too much time on this
One
nitpick.
last point. One last
no,
point.
I got bigger. I'm gonna say. Oh,
One
go
last
We
ahead.
got
point.
way bigger issues. We got way bigger issues
I
to
know.
get through,
Yeah.
I
I
just want to
got
make
way
the
bigger
closing.
issues than that. I got way bigger issues.
Okay.
Let's go.
Like, how about the fact that you had outside of Shuri, who actually used her Komoyo beast to translate the Tolokan's language? How the heck is
That was tight.
Nakia and Okoye speaking their language? That doesn't make sense. They know it is a lost city, which means it's a lost language. They have zero knowledge of speaking that language. Nakia literally goes to talk to that old lady and knows the language. And you know she's
No,
speaking their
Oh,
tongue
that can kind of be
because
Nakia
explained though.
Nakia
That can
No,
wasn't
kind of
no,
be
she was
Nakia
explained.
wasn't
speaking.
speaking the Talakan language. She was
Okoye
speaking the
didn't speak it
Aztec
either.
language of that person she was talking to.
Yeah,
That
she was
woman
speaking.
wasn't speaking their language.
She was speaking
that
That
native
Speaking
woman
her
was
like.
speaking
language.
language, native her language.
Yeah,
She
And
wasn't
Mayan
and
and
speaking
Aztec
Okoye
is
and
the
the
native
Okoye
who
and the warrior guy
native
were
who
not
language.
speaking the same.
I think it was Spanish.
Yeah, Mayan.
yeah, it was
Mayan.
Mayan,
Mayan,
Yeah.
there's Mayan
Aztec.
people. There's Mayan people. There's Latinos here that don't speak Spanish. Spanish is a
Right.
conquered language. So the original people in Mexico speak a couple other languages down near Chiapas. That's not Spanish. So she wasn't speaking Spanish, but she wasn't speaking Teloquin or whatever the
A brief little history
Cocos.
lesson: the Spaniards conquered
Right.
Mexico,
Yeah.
in
Right, I
the
know that,
couple hundred years
but
ago. So that's where
based
Spanish
off of
come.
I my assumption was they were because obviously if you speak in multiple languages in a movie, you in their in is different languages, you're going to color them differently. The Tolokan language was colored blue throughout the entire film, correct?
Yes, it was. The
Mhm.
subtitles was.
Mhm.
Right. So
I
if
seen the color change, but there's no way that old lady Christian knew their language too. Then that would mean that that old lady knew it as well.
but that's my point though. That's why I'm saying that doesn't make sense because if you have that language colored blue, which signifies to me as a viewer that that is a
Hmm.
specific language that those
I
specific
get what
I
he's
people.
get.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get
It
that.
did turn
Okay.
blue. It
It's
did
an
turn blue.
ancient
Yeah,
Yes,
language that
especially.
still
every
exists,
time
believe
they
it or not.
talk, yes, every time they talked, it was blue. So that means that was the specific language of Tolokan. Even when the
Yeah.
Tolokans were communicating with each other, the language was blue. There's
And
no
then
way.
People
and
still
then
speak,
to
Wait,
add to
believe
so
it or
that,
not, people
is this
still
Okoye.
the
speak like Aztec Mayan though
is this
in
the bigger issue that
today's
you have with the
culture.
movie?
It's
Is this the
Oh
bigger?
no, like I have, but that's just a
See,
couple
Christian Black. I think
examples.
we need to
you need to
talk
name
about
like
the bigger
Like
things,
let's
bro.
start with
Like
the
we don't.
haymakers.
Not
Yeah,
really,
like we're
Chris.
talking
you
Not
need
about.
to
really.
name
I got one.
Well,
I got one for you.
I'll throw
My
a
big
haymaker. Do you have a haymaker
my
flash? Hold on,
big
guys. Do you
my
have one
big.
flash? Do you have one
Oh,
sack?
go ahead.
Christian, we gave you two shots to throw two problems
No, go
out. We
ahead.
talked about them. We got to hit some big shit. So I could throw out the Riri Williams
Yeah, I
and the
hated her.
machine.
I give you
The
wait.
that.
Has
I hated her.
has everyone said why they like or hate the movie?
No,
My my my
Not
big
Nah,
everyone.
we haven't gotten around and done
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Go ahead, Sack. Go
my,
ahead.
my big problem with the movie was simple for everybody. I'm sure all of y'all seen it by now. Spoiler if you didn't. Um, the death. He didn't really kill Angela Bassett. He didn't kill her. She just died. She drowned. She didn't know how to swim. And I remember them being subways and all type of stuff under Wakanda, but instead there was a lake from that water bomb, and she drowned trying to save a girl she just met 20 minutes ago, and there were no guards in the throne room to protect her. He's
That's a
throwing
problem.
spears through the Oval Office.
Wakanda having no defenses is a problem.
Nobody protecting their queen.
Come on.
No men, no women, no Dora Milaje, no guards,
no
nothing.
man, no man
just
army.
Her and a 15-year-old, and then she saves a 15-year-old and dies.
My nigga, there was only
drowns?
one. There was only one
Their
man of
army too will be
Wakanda.
drowning.
Only one man of Wakanda was beating up on some Atlanteans, and it was Baku.
And
all the other niggas was dying,
that's
bro.
my big problem, guys, because they had big rhinos with armor in Infinity War. They had elephants with armor.
In Black Panther.
She didn't even have a blanket to turn into to protect nothing. She just standing there looking at him break through the glass. And that was a problem for me. If she's the queen,
that was the throne
protect
room.
the queen and get her out of there. The city's under attack, and she just looking out the window, watching it all go down. It just didn't make sense.
I mean,
to me.
that's a problem.
I would
Absolutely.
love Angela Bassett to come back. I don't see why Shuri had to lose her mother in order for us to get some transition, because she didn't even really transition like that. And we just took a loss after a real life loss with Chadwick. So then we lost David Okui, whatever his name is. We lost Forrest Whitaker. We lost everybody.
There's no men in this movie.
No more A-listers.
There's no reputable,
I forgot that he was in the movie.
We lost everybody I liked.
Yes.
And then I was hoping we was all hoping Killmonger was still alive, or they was going to bring him back somehow.
Not for that scene.
They brought him back.
Leave that nigga in the ocean.
Dead.
Leave that nigga in the ocean.
He's dead now. Like,
shit.
I thought the water
He'll
was
never come back now.
Grow the herb
Michael
back
B. Jordan will never come back now. That's guaranteed. He's dead.
Y'all better get y'all Creed tickets. You want to see Michael B. Jordan? You better get your Creed ticket.
Holy shit, bro. That shit's sad, bro.
So I was just like, that broke my heart, and that's when I decided I didn't like the movie.
Do you guys have a defense for why Wakanda was just an impregnable hoe who had no defenses and no technology?
No, I mean, no defense for that. But for me personally, I mean, I gave it a B+. Isn't perfect. I think Sad gave it a B+. I mean, there's absolutely things wrong with this movie. I just don't think
she didn't even have a pit bull, y'all.
I just think
have a pit bull.
Yeah, I mean, her being defenseless. I mean, again, they explained
to what Wakanda is.
They explained it, but it doesn't mean it makes sense. But the whole them drawing people into the water was supposed to draw people away from her. They explained it. It didn't make sense. I'm not saying it made sense, Jody, but they kind of explained it. It didn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
It's not the fact that it didn't make sense. Is the problem here is that Wakanda's trash in this movie.
Yeah.
And Wakanda's supposed to be the most glorious place that we all want to visit. And it had a allure and prestige to it, and it was just not even utilized in this film. In fact, it was just disrespected in this movie. Wakanda is supposed to be a great place, and now it doesn't mean anything.
I'd say this is an issue that it's always been there in the previous movies as well. I don't.
In Infinity War, the whole universe ran to be protected by Wakanda. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and Thanos broke in. How did he?
It's Thanos.
The day he struggled though. He struggled. He kind of struggled.
So we're implying that
struggled. They were not getting in, my nigga. So T'Challa said, "Open the gates."
I'm just saying. So we're implying that Thanos has better tech than Wakandans, even though we said Wakanda has the best tech.
On Earth, my nigga, on Earth, yes.
But also,
I saw Thanos' sword destroy Captain America's shield, my nigga. Yes, aliens got better tech than Earth,
and that was previously before knowing Namor existed, right? And his people.
There's better tech in the outer space than on Earth. Yes.
No, I'm saying that's before they said Wakanda has the best tech, and that's before knowing Namor, and they have vibranium as well, right?
Because
are you saying that they have good tech, my nigga? Their tech is trash, bro. That's another gripe.
Did he tunnel in, or how did he get in? Did we find out how he got in?
The water. Tell me how is it that the Atlantis, the fake Atlantis, Talokan, how is it that Talokan doesn't even look like an advanced civilization? Where's their tech? All they had was water bombs.
Wait, before we switch off that, I feel like we're forgetting that that Wakanda got absolutely flooded and attacked with like thousands of Aquamans and a Superman, pretty much. And they have they don't have, like, their soldiers don't have powers, bro. They were completely overrun. So I don't understand what the issue is.
Jeff, that water got to about their ankles. I wonder how much water.
Either way,
y'all know that water didn't get past their knees.
Hold on. Either way, like Namor around water is one of the strongest characters that we've ever seen in Marvel. Like,
you can't use that here. Not in this movie. Not in this
In
movie.
this movie.
Even
One
in this
thing you
movie,
can't
I
do,
mean,
Jeff, do not apply the Namor that we all know and love to this nigga in this
No,
movie.
he's saying
not.
the movies. He's the one of the
the
strongest.
movies is one of the
I'm saying in
strongest.
this
I compared
movie,
him to the Hulk. I
in
mean,
this
it's the
movie,
Hulk,
he's
but
when he's around water, he's one of the strongest characters that we've seen in
Governor,
Says
all of
who?
the
Marvel.
governor of Georgia
Says
was
the people
like,
in the movie?
Mississippi
Yeah.
ain't got water,
pro-
Flint ain't
he's-
got water. Y'all ain't wasting all this water. Y'all get about 40,
Bro.
100 gallons. That's it.
Them saying he's strong don't mean he's one of the strongest, bro. I didn't see nothing impressive, bro.
Who's
Nothing.
strong? Submariner?
Name more in this movie, bro.
So that's
So many freaking Avengers gonna work that boy.
Like,
I mean,
Shout out to, JB's, you in the call, my nigga. Oh, he ain't in this shit.
yeah,
JB's, where the frick you at? I wonder where my nigga JB's. Wish I could have stuck around for this discussion. I gotta leave for work. Oh, fuck.
You should have told us. We could have told
Y'all
us
have a good
earlier.
night and freak Ryan Coogler and Foggy for life. Fuck, this nigga felt bold too. You ain't got 5 minutes to go. He had to go
call
to
us
work.
from the car.
Oh, damn.
Call us from the car, JB.
Shit, this nigga really hated this shit. I really want to hear what he had to say.
Call us from the car.
Jeff.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like you gotta pick one. Like, do we want Wakanda to be like this impenetrable? It's like the Superman effect. Like, do we want them to be able to take damage? That we see this super powerful nation attack them. Do we want consequences for the actions? Do we want like Queen to be able to die?
We
Like,
just want one thing. You're opening up doors that shouldn't be open, my nigga. Wakanda's impregnable for the most part. Are you saying Namor is as strong as the Hulk?
no. I'm saying
and Baku
that's
said he was
what
as
they
strong
wanted.
as the Hulk.
Baku was a joke. So that was a joke. Because he is a joke. That's another problem I have with this movie. That nigga's a freaking cartoon.
Right.
But Jeff.
Come on, Jody, you didn't laugh at the ball-headed demon.
Yeah, I laughed at that. Yeah, I laughed. I ain't gonna lie,
That
I
was
laughed. It was
funny.
funny.
That was
Ball
funny.
headed demon. She was funny as heck. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, what do you mean by
But,
Mbaku
bro,
was a joke?
Because he was the butt of all the jokes.
You mean like he's been in all the previous movies as well?
No, he was not this jokey
He
in the
had
first Black
jokes, but
Panther.
he
Come
was
on,
He
bro.
was menacing when we first
Yeah,
when he
swag,
first
crazy.
showed up with that mask on. Weren't you afraid? Like he
I was scared when that
powerful
nigga
and
showed up to take the
scary.
mantle. He
When
busted
we first,
T'Challa's
like,
face
oh,
open.
shit.
Okay,
And
so
T'Challa had
you're
the
talking
herb
about his
inside of him and is still getting his ass whooped.
You're talking about his
No,
introduction,
no herb,
but
no herb.
later in the movie,
Oh, they took it out.
Yeah, took it out.
you're talking about his introduction
Hey,
later in
you
the
shut
movie
up,
when
you
they
over
went to his people's place, right? When they went to the mountains or whatever. He
Shut the
cracking
fuck up, dumbass.
jokes throughout the entire scene.
You didn't think he was fearsome and menacing when we first saw him with that wild ass
Swag, you're
monkey
just
mask?
off, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
the
didn't.
masks. Let's
Swag
talk,
is
the
off.
masks were missing. Those masks was great. Even
Swag, you saying that,
Killmonger's
but
mask was dope.
you saying
Yeah,
M'Baku
yeah.
wasn't more serious in the first Black Panther is incredibly disingenuous.
No, you
bro.
can imply he was more serious, but he's never been an.
It's not an imply. It's not imply. His introduction to this movie was in a serious nature. In the first Black Panther, he was there to take the mantle and beat the shit out of T'Challa, my nigga.
I mean, he had some.
Even when he
Okay.
Your technological advancements have been overseen by a child who scoffs at tradition. We will not have it. We will not have it. Oh, what are you talking about?
He was
There's no
M'Baku.
jokes with that shit.
He was M'Baku Ragnarok this time around.
Nigga was the Jabari of the Lost Land that didn't like these freaking clans over here uniting and shit. Hey man, come on, Swag. You can't come in this argument just saying M'Baku was always a joke, my nigga. You're. It's like you never watched the first Black Panther movie.
All right, so we can go by actions, right? Singular actions does not determine if someone is serious or that's just how they were feeling at the time, right? So he did do serious things in the first one. He did challenge T'Challa. He was
What were the serious things he did in this movie? Then I'm gonna throw it back at you. What serious did he do here?
well,
Besides
he
swinging
intended to
stick?
kill, just like he intended to kill T'Challa. He intended to kill Namor. That's a serious action. That
Wait,
Holy
what?
shit! Holy.
How long
frick.
did he last though? He lasted like under 5 seconds.
So
that's
him
kinda
being
crazy, I'm not
serious
gonna
is
lie.
depending on how long he lasts.
Okay.
I mean,
I already knew he was
he
gonna
stated
hold
his
you.
intentions
Oh,
were.
All
you
you
wildin', sir.
stated is what he intended to
I
do.
mean, he
I
got
don't
a
know.
point though.
Like I said, you can't base
No, he
someone being
doesn't.
serious based off a singular action. That's just how they wanted killing. I want to kill somebody. Now I'm a serious character. No, that's just I want to kill this person. This is my goal. In this
Do you
movie, I want to kill
recognize
Namor. This is
tone?
my goal.
Do you not catch tone of characters?
Yes,
do
of
you
course.
not feel
which is
a
why,
tone of a
which
character?
is why, which is
All
why.
right.
Like,
When
Joe,
they
I
went
heard he's got like a son that we don't know about. Like in the third one's gonna come up and smash everybody. That'd be awesome.
His tone was serious though.
when they went to his the mountains, right, to see him, right? In his natural state, when he's calm, he's cracking jokes. When he has an intention to do something, then he gets serious, like fighting, right? He's very serious when he fights, but when he's in his natural state, relaxing, he's very much so cracking jokes, and that has never changed.
Bro, the way that Namor punched him and he fell over, he looked like a goofball. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
It
so here's the
made him
thing,
look like
right?
a
So
goofball.
He was a joke. It was a
It,
joke.
it,
That's
it was
why.
literally filmed to
He's
be a
so
joke.
strong. Oh my
It was literally
God! I
filmed like
can't breathe.
he rolled over. He like rolled over and was like,
The
ah. Like
so yeah,
That
so
shit
that
was
was the
weak.
joke.
All that vibranium, and he had a wooden chest plate.
He didn't have no vibranium though. He was outside
I'm
of the
saying
room.
all of it that existed his whole life. He's a king.
But he didn't have access to vibranium.
But
He was
But
on the outer
listen,
skirts.
but at the same time, he did have his serious moments in this film as well. I thought that the
Yeah, good luck,
conversation
my nigga.
that him and Shuri had after Angela Bassett, I can't remember her name right now, but after her mom's death, the
Amanda?
conversation that
Don't go there,
they
please.
had after Ramonda's
Shuri
death, I
punked
thought
When he
that
was
man in
almost shot his
Baku.
shot.
Don't
When he was
do
about
that.
to
Please
shoot his
don't do
shot.
that. Don't
Don't
take away.
don't do that.
Don't take
Like
away.
he
Don't take away
sure.
Letitia's great acting in that moment and him sitting there with his lips closed as him being taken seriously, my nigga. He was
She
listening in
punked
that
that
discussion.
man.
I don't
He
think
was
she punked him.
listening, and she was the one talking, bro. Please do not do that.
I mean, but
You got,
go ahead.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I know
dude,
a lot of shit. Hey, bro, I don't.
he was cowering in fear, and he put his head down.
She emasculated
Like
him. You're going to help me.
exactly.
Okay. He said,
No,
okay.
that's not the scene I'm talking about. She told him, "You're gonna help me" after she became the Black Panther. I'm talking about right
Yeah.
after her mom's funeral.
Yes.
When they had that conversation about
Yes,
it's about
yes.
again Shuri
And what was he?
rejecting
Why was he there?
technology
Why was he there to have the conversation? Ask yourself. Do you remember why he was there to talk to her?
because he said he told T'Challa he would look after her.
Nope.
No.
Why was he there? How many times you see the movie, homie?
I've seen it twice.
Psh, just as much as
He
me.
tells
I
her,
remember this for
"Don't
the first
bury
time.
yourself in your technology."
No, why was he there?
He
Wrong.
said he
Why was he there?
needed advice from her.
Correct. He needed her opinion on the matter. He
Facts.
needed advice from a child. So you take advice from a child that scoffs at tradition? The freak he doing coming to her for opinion on what to do as a warrior?
Keep your friend close and your enemies closer. I'll still
It's
take
in that
it.
moment young Thundercat realized he effed up.
No, was he there to advise her? Like, doesn't he tell her, like, I'm supposed to advise you because that's what I promised your brother, like, to always look out for you, always be there. And
It
shit.
was
That's
the
what he
exact-
said.
It was the exact opposite of what young Thundercat thought Baku was doing. He was there to look after her because T'Challa asked him to, but asking her advice.
What was the advice he asked?
Right. What was
how
the
do you-
advice? He
about
told,
the
he
about
told
all of the about all of the Wakandans going to Jabari land and taking refuge there, abandoning Wakanda, which is some ridiculous shit, and going to Jabari land, my nigga. How's that for blasphemous?
How is that blasphemous?
Wakanda can't protect itself, so it went to Jabari
But
land for
no,
protection.
I remember
Wakanda's never
the
Wakanda's never
elders
fought
the
people
one who
with.
came up with the idea, though.
Yeah, he said the elders said, "Hey, we should bring everybody to Jabari land. What do you
They-
think about it?" I don't understand the problem with that.
Oh my!
Yeah,
you
he
niggas
wanted-
Is, you niggas is.
Bro, I remember the
Five-star, go ahead.
scene.
Go
I
ahead,
remember the
Five-star.
scene being like,
Okay, so
he
I,
goes
Five-star, no, you
to
don't.
her,
I'm
and
noticing
he
a
tells her
general. I'm
that your
noticing a
brother
general.
told me
Five-star, go ahead,
to take care of
Five-star.
you. He tells her, your brother told me to take care of you, look out after you, right? And then he tells her that the elders came up with the idea of taking all the people to his land, but he wants to get her opinion on how she feels about that shit. Because basically they don't trust her as being like king.
Whose land is it?
His land.
All right,
And Baku's.
Oh, so the elders came to M'Baku so they could get refuge there, and M'Baku went where
To the
For
queen.
sure.
She's the queen
to get her advice and opinion on the matter.
because she's the queen.
Well, yeah, because she's the queen. Like, you're not gonna just go do shit.
What?
They never referred to her
What
as
the fuck are
queen.
you
They
talking
still
about?
refer to her as princess.
When her mama
They
died.
never referred to her as
Nigga,
queen.
get the freak
When the
up
queen
outta-
dies, she's
it doesn't
the
even
next
matter
in
even
line.
if she was the queen. M'Baku don't go by Wakandan shit. He got his own shit.
what? So why
He
is he in
still
Wakanda?
respects it because of Chadwick.
On the dead home.
Listen. Can we? There's the meat. There's meat right here. I'm trying to turn to the meat, right? So,
Do you remember when they all was at Black Panther 1? The River Clan will not challenge today. The Buddha Clan will not challenge. All the clans talked about if they were challenged T'Challa to fight him for the mantle.
Respect with
Yeah,
T'Challa.
And then all of a sudden,
Though.
Then he got his ass beat. and
all of that
started
went away.
respecting her.
And then what did the queen say? M'Baku, what are you doing here? He didn't belong there. It's challenge day. He is not a part of that Wakandan shit that they got going on.
Mbaku's
He is now,
supposed
though.
to
He
be
is
Suge
not.
Knight.
He got his ass
Mbaku
beaten
is
and
the
changed
Suge
his whole
Knight of
tune throughout the
Wakanda, y'all.
movie.
Yes, he is now.
He's
Yes,
now.
he is now. He's the king now, nigga.
No,
Well,
He
I
was.
think he's king because
He
they
was
have
at the
problems
start of
with.
the movie.
He's the king now, nigga. How you feel about that?
Well, I think he's king
We
because they have
keep
problems
jumping
with
topic to
his
topic.
right.
Can we get to
That's why I
meat
think he's
already?
king.
What do you mean? I'm bro. I'm giving you what's up, bro.
Jody, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
The elders, the 5 elders, confided in Baku for help. Yo, can we come to your hood and be? Can you save us? And Baku could have just said yes, come, but he went to Shuri to get her advice. Why don't you guys understand that?
I mean,
It's a respect thing coming from his relationship with
Did
T'Challa.
Baku show respect when he crashed T'Challa's Black Panther freaking coronation?
He got his ass handed to him, and then he
But that's
gained respect for the
growth.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have
That's
we seen
growth.
fools
Why are
fight,
you
and then
bringing
you
up
gain
one of the
respect
first
after you get
scenes
your
from
ass
the first
beat?
Black Panther?
Don't tell me that M'Baku's showing respect when this nigga is not.
But
he's
that's
not
growth,
that
is it
character.
not? Isn't that growth?
It's growth.
In
It's
the
called
first movie-
weakness, my nigga.
No,
It's
it's
called
growth.
weakness.
In the first movie, he
What?
was this disrespectful
literally
character,
growth.
and throughout the
It's
movie,
growth.
he
Yeah.
started to
It's
respect
growth.
That's
T'Challa.
growth.
more.
Okay,
You're
it's
naming-
growth. Is
you're naming one of
M'Baku
the first
stronger in the
scenes.
first Black Panther, or is he a stronger character in the first Black Panther, or in this one?
Wait, but
Everybody's
you're
a
naming one
weaker
of the first
character in
scenes.
this one.
Oh wow.
This is why I don't want to sit here and just get my shit wrecked.
He
I'd rather
said
move on.
everybody's
Can we? Okay,
I know
here's the
exactly.
problem.
He's
Here's the
saying
problem.
everybody's
I have a
weaker,
problem with the
but
film
why am I
that's different
arguing
from
then, my
this.
nigga? Why is Thundercat tell everybody's
Talk
weaker
here.
in this one, but you're telling me that this nigga got stronger? It's growth.
No,
That ain't growth.
Hey.
That's deep. That's deep. What they call it?
When I say
degenerative.
de-escalated- oh.
Yeah, it's a degenerative
Regression.
state.
I'm
he's
talking
at,
about
bro.
character
Degression, yes.
growth versus
Regression.
Put a
power.
1 in the chat
As a-
if you ever got advice
No,
from your homie's
Thundercat is
little
giving
sister.
too many concessions right now.
Any of
This
your
is-
homies,
No, I'm
you
not
go to
giving
his
concessions.
younger sister for
I'm not
advice.
giving concessions.
Put a
When
1
I
in the
say
chat.
when we're talking about weaker, when I say weaker, he's weaker as a character, meaning he isn't the fighter he was in the first movie, but he has grown as a character and his personality has changed.
Not
That's
the-
obvious.
No, that's not.
Wait,
that's
guys,
obviously
guys,
not.
listen.
That's your opinion. Go ahead.
So,
Go with it.
Jody. So here's the problem. Well, at least the problem that I see, right? A lot of the way that you're like making up arguments, you have this underlying like kind of weasel way of like argumentation, not intentionally, right? But you'll bring up a point, and it will
It's
either
challenge day.
we'll either debunk it or we'll attest it, and then you'll hop to another point when the
All right,
underlying
swag. All right,
issue.
swag. All right.
Hold on,
for
hold
sure.
on.
You
The
brought, you
underlying
brought it.
issue-
Nobody here
underlying-
exists but me and you for the next 5
No,
minutes.
no, no,
Let's
no,
go.
no, no, no.
Let's
I just
go.
want to bring this up, and
No,
then
let's
anybody else
go.
can
That's the
hop in
point
on
of
it.
the debate, though. You
Nope.
just say it,
No,
get
we're
on
done.
that, And then you move
Hold
on.
up, I want to
Swag.
get everyone's opinion on something.
The next
Charles
5 minutes, my
Remission.
nigga. Me and you, swag. Let's go. What's your problem?
Nigga,
Nigga,
why
this
you?
movie's
All right,
weak.
bro. Bro. So the underlying issue that I've noticed, like a particular theme I've noticed, that the problem is not all these specific singular examples that you're bringing up. Your overarching problem is that you seem to think that men are being emasculated or black men are being disrespected throughout this entire movie. And I would attest that testament. I would completely disagree. So we can attack that argument.
Where are the respectable men to look up to in this movie?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Why does the movie need to have respectable men to look up to for it to be good? Or men?
This is Wakanda. This is what is called a monarchy, right? Where like the king rules over his people, and even more so than that, the mantle of Black Panther, which protects the people. This is very much a male society that we reside in Wakanda.
They never said that, but yeah.
Okay, so you're saying this is a male society that they reside in Wakanda?
It's a monarchy, though. Do you disagree with that, Jeff?
It's a monarchy.
It's a monarchy.
There has been kings, but that doesn't mean that.
It's a monarchy with all kings, no queens. All kings
Yeah,
in history.
that's
All
how-
kings.
that's
men.
how-
No, we don't know
Men.
that. I'll argue that. We don't know that it's been a
What do you mean you
monarchy.
don't know
without
that?
king. We don't know that. We've seen two
They
kings of
speak about it all
Wakanda.
the time. All of the well, no, even all the Panthers in the first bunch, they're men, my nigga. What the? All right, for sure. Thundercat. There were some women in the
But it was
history
just you and
who
me.
led Wakanda as Black Panther. This was not the first female Black Panther. my
Nobody's
nigga. There were
saying
many women out
nobody's
there.
saying it was the first female. It could have been the first female. That's
yeah,
all
you
fine.
kind of are. You kind of are.
No, I'm
when I
not.
say it was all men, and you saying no, you don't know that. What does that mean?
We say on you say on this channel yourself all the time. Go by what it's actually shown, right? Have they shown for
and
fact?
and
that
it's
been
shown all
kings?
men.
No,
Every
it's
king's-
where, Jody?
All right, here's where. Have you ever seen a female queen rule Wakanda
Ramonda.
outside of
was just
T'Chaka's
queen.
death?
Ramonda was
she
just
was.
Her
queen.
husband was the king. He died.
She
And who
was,
became the king after that? Was it Ramonda or was it T'Challa?
so in the typical monarchy,
My nigga,
if in a
when the
typical-
husband died, did Ramonda rule or did it go to T'Challa right away? The male.
it went to the male right away. But in a typical,
We're done here. We're done
in a-
here. We're
in
done
a
here.
typical
We're done. There's nothing else to talk
monarchy,
about.
even after
Holy
T'Challa dies, he would have cousins or whatever that it would go to before Ramonda. In this case, it didn't, right? If we're talking
bro, so
typical
whoa.
monarchies.
Region until that's sorted out.
Yeah, I guess that 8-year-old should be the king already.
He should be, technically.
All right.
Okay, so can we get back to the point?
Yeah, I want your shit, Swag.
Okay, so you're saying it's a monarchy. Now, I have to preface this. Let's caveat a little bit. So you're not going by the comics at all. Are we making this clear?
If you want me to go strictly by the film, I'll pivot that starting now.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear because sometimes you seem to like intertwine
When
between.
the comics come in, it's really not good.
If
So
the
I'll
comics
just go by
come
the
in, that
movies.
means that Shuri was a Black Panther at one time, so they can't have women. That's what I was trying to say, but doesn't matter, right? We're going.
I'm gonna wreck your shit. You don't even know why she was the Black Panther. Do you know why she became Black Panther?
That doesn't
Did
matter.
you know that T'Challa was still alive? He was just sick. He
For
wasn't
me,
dead.
Sick, dead.
So somebody,
just
nigga,
like you-
Nightwing became Batman for a minute, my nigga.
Yeah, just
Bruce
like
Wayne was chilling. He was on the side. That don't mean that Nightwing is Batman.
Okay, so let me.
Putting on the costume and being Black Panther for a few weeks ain't the same.
So you're saying
That's
it's
shit.
better if he's sick, then she can become a Black Panther. But if he's dead, it's out of the question. How does that work?
All right, so you're saying so you think you won the argument because Shuri's the Black Panther in the comic books.
No,
So if you're gonna,
I'm just prefacing. I'm asking you.
all right,
If we're going off.
don't
comic
bring
books.
up some comic book shit and then tell me don't go there.
I'm asking you which one we're going off of. The movie, right?
Nigga, we go with the comic books. Let's do everything, comic books and the movie.
That doesn't.
Thank you.
If we can't do that because that means every single movie in the MCU is trash. We can't go off the comics and the movie. That makes no sense. It's all
No, bro. Civil War is nothing like the comic book, but it does other things well that works in movies.
And I'd
this
argue the
movie
same
failed
for
to
this
do
movie.
that.
I'd argue the same for this movie.
All right, you can't. How good was the action in
All
this
right,
movie?
let's go. No.
Was there good action?
Don't go
Was
point
the action
by
good?
point.
was
Don't
good.
Let's
go-
break it down like a
Okay,
movie.
stop. You see what you're doing? You're going point by point again. Let's stay back to that. We need male
Go ahead.
representation, whatever bullshit, right? Let's stay
Okay.
on that.
All right.
Mitigation.
Now I'm asking you. You're saying that we need male representation because it's a monarchy. So the problem is because it's not accurate to the first film. That's your problem. So it has nothing to do with real, actual, like having strong males to represent us. It has to do with being inconsistent with the movies.
It's inconsistent with the movies and the comics, yeah.
I said which one, bro. We already specified we're going off the movies, right?
No, I'm picking comics too since you gave me the
You
option.
can't pick both. You can't.
Okay, so let's go with just movies then.
All right. So your problem, it has nothing to do with male representation or men getting disrespected. It has to be with accuracy, right? Being accurate with the
No, it does have to do with male representation and accuracy, both of them.
So you're saying that if there was a Black Panther in this movie and T'Challa was the Black Panther and you felt as if he was emasculated, that would also be a problem.
Yes.
So it actually doesn't have to do with anything with being accurate. It only has to. Can you see? This is what I'm talking about. You can't say
What
that
are
it's
you
based
saying?
off. You can't say that it's based off the previous movies and it being a monarchy. And if we take away that fact, you still have a problem if the same behavior is happening. Right?
Yes, this movie has a lot of problems, Swag.
All right, now
If this movie only had one problem, which was just representation of men, and then you had T'Challa in here,
Okay.
I wouldn't have any problems with this
Now
movie. Unfortunately,
now I'm-
I got a mound of them shits.
Now I'm asking you again, why does representation of men matter? Take away the monarchy part. Why
This is
does
a black movie. This is a black movie. This is the greatest black superhero of all time, and we kind of need that as black boys
Why?
because we don't have that representation in comic books, or let alone mostly any film.
So you're saying you're judging this movie differently than you would any other movie?
This movie is different than any other movie. It's a black hero.
Right, then there's no argument. It's all subjective. If you're admitting that you're judging this movie based off some preconceived notion of we're black people and we need male representation, and if people differ from that, you can't really blame them, right? If a white person or other person says this movie,
That's a good point.
Swag.
Or-
Swag.
what?
What grade did I give this movie?
A C plus, I think.
That's a movie grade, brother. That's not a personal grade. I got
We're
an F
going
for this film.
point by point, right? We're going point by point.
I'm killing off your accusation. You're accusing me of judging this movie based on my personal bias and how I feel about a black hero and how black kids need shit. I graded this movie as a competent MCU movie and gave it a C+.
The arguments that you put forward is this point about
Now, if we're hold on, I graded and reviewed this movie as a movie. I left my personal Black Panther knowledge out of it. Especially comic books and all the way the emasculation, the men, that's out of it. I got 2 grades for this hoe. As a reviewer reviewing it, I said it's a competent movie. I said I enjoyed it. I said I enjoyed this movie.
That's what J3 be doing though. The 2 grades, my nigga. I didn't think you did that.
Yeah, but I gave it 1.
All right, listen. Okay, if that's not a part of your grade,
I gave it 1.
If that's not a part of your grade, let's move on to the next point. Let's move on to actual gripes you have with the.
Yeah, there we go. So far, you're not doing a good job. I want you to tell me why this movie's good, but you still got questions for me.
That means moving forward, you're gonna stop bringing up this whole male emasculation because it has nothing to do with your grading, right?
No, it has to do with my freaking hate for this movie. What the freak are you talking about?
If it doesn't affect your grading, I don't care. Let's move on. We're arguing.
Let the record state that Swag doesn't want to go there with me.
Wait. We're talking about if it's a good movie, right? And you've self-admitted said.
Holy shit! I've given good grades to bad movies, bro.
You self-admittingly said.
I've given good grades to bad movies, bro.
You self-admittedly said that this is subjective and that you didn't use it to grade the movie. You said you gave it 2 grades, right?
I gave Mother an A+, and I hate that movie for personal reasons.
Well, we're not arguing if you like it or hate it. We're arguing if it's a good movie.
So if a nigga say, "What's your problem with Mother?" Now I get to bring out those reasons. Why are you stopping me for bringing out my problems with Wakanda Forever?
Bro, why are you
that's what this is about.
You're being disingenuous, man. Come on, man. We're talking about if it's a good movie.
I'm being disingenuous, and you're trying to handcuff me. Okay. You're trying to muzzle me, my nigga, like this movie did on
usually if we're discussing film, right, we're not going to take subjective reasonings and we're going to use our subjective experience to grade a movie, right? We go off of
I'm using my opinion, and I'm going to back it by shit that's in this movie and not in this movie. That's all we could do.
Okay. Like I've said, we've moved on from the male emasculation points.
Listen, bro, I'm going to let you handcuff me, bro, because I'm going to destroy you.
Okay, perfect.
I will not talk about blackness. I will not talk about a fatherless children in this movie. Can we move forward now?
I got it.
I'm on my knees. I'm on my knees, and I got my hands behind my back. I'm gonna destroy you with headbutts.
I don't think we can talk about it without talking about that stuff,
so
because whether or not
we've established that we're
Thundercat. The common sense is moving out on Thundercat.
No, because we can't talk about this movie without mentioning the lens.
Nigga trying to make a Black Panther movie and trying to talk about like a regular
Thor movie. You can judge it based on like the script.
We can't do that. This is the Black Panther. We can't do that.
Wait.
This movie means something to certain people. You can't just erase.
Yeah, bro. If a woman watches Wonder Woman and says, "I didn't feel like it was womanly enough, so it's trash," I'm gonna feel like she's fucking retarded. Just as if someone watches another movie and says, "Oh, there's not enough gay representation" or whatever the fuck, I don't care.
It's not the same thing.
That woman could say that, Swag, but I would ask that woman, "Tell me why it's bad."
Oh, but
if she tells me why it's bad, then it's okay.
So let me ask you a question. So
I'm telling you everything why this movie is not
good. If you're gonna
good.
ask that woman, tell me why it's bad because I say it's not womanly enough, right? Couldn't the same be said about us black people? Why are we gonna let white people just dictate what's black enough for?
Absolutely. People that don't like this movie, people that don't like this movie just because it doesn't have enough black representation, that's not me. I'm not lining up with that.
That's what I move on from the point. We've established this. That's all I want.
It's more to it than that, nigga. There's people who are Black Power, nigga. I'm a Black Panther fan,
bro. Why you
and a movie fan, and as those two things, I am offended and pissed.
All right. So, as we've established multiple times, but he seems to be wanting to get a fucking.
Hey, I'm on my knees.
We've established.
My hands are behind my back. Bring it on so I can kill you with these headbutts.
Moving on. All right. We're not using this male emasculation point that he's been doing this entire stream, right? We're moving on.
For sure.
All right. So, let's go to the problems with the movies, right? Or wait. What we should do is there's other people.
You should tell me how it's good, my nigga. What the freak?
Okay. I can go.
What y'all should do is drop a dono.
So. Why I like this movie, well, various reasons, right? I came into this movie with a lot of I don't know, I came in with severely low expectations and I came out surprisingly pleased. I think the movie was very competent. I think it did a good job. It has a good story. The script can be kind of iffy at points, right? With like certain plot points that are just kind of like, you added it for this specific reason and it didn't really mesh well. But overall, I think the acting was good. I think the action was good. The visuals were okay. I think Namor's motivations were okay enough. I think it was a very competent film. And that's kind of saying a lot in this superhero space because a lot of films can have feelings or actions. And I've seen multiple people actually give other films higher grades because of how they felt, even though like cohesively the movies were garbage. But besides that, I think it was a cohesive movie, coherent. Yeah, I didn't think.
Coherent.
Yeah, I think most of the
Cohesive.
movie made sense. I think after Ramonda died, it kind of dipped. I think the third act kind of dipped off a little bit. It was sitting around an A minus about before Ramonda died, and after she died, it dropped to a B plus. But overall, it was a good movie, entertaining movie, and I didn't feel the length at all. So that was good until Ramonda died, and I was starting to feel.
All right, let's get into the specifics now. Now I get to hit you with the questions.
Yep.
Do you feel like it was a good decision in a morning movie where we lost T'Challa to kill off Ramonda?
If it makes sense to the story, then yeah, I don't really care.
Did it make sense to the story?
Yes, it made sense to the story.
Did Ramonda need to die for the story to go on?
So I didn't have a problem with her death. I had a problem with the execution, right? I think the directing, how they used to direct that death scene was problematic, right? So she came to the top, and what was her name? What's the Ironheart? What's her name again?
Riri.
Yeah, so Riri, right? She was placed like she was been like, if you're dragging someone above water, there's no way you can get Riri into that position unless you yourself get out of the water and put her and place her perfectly like that. That made absolutely no sense. It's as if she came out, put her there, and then went back in and died. It made no sense. So I had a problem with the execution, but her death, no, I didn't have a problem with it. A powerful foe came in and killed her. It made sense how it happened. I didn't have a problem.
Saved her.
Yeah,
I'm saved her, right?
So I think it's also implied that the water drained out from under them. That's why they were in that position. Because it wouldn't make sense for her to do that. So I think the water drained out under them. But
okay. But her death itself, I don't have a problem with that. No, it made sense.
Right. Same here. I mean, I don't like the fact that she died. If I had to make the choice, she wouldn't have died. I don't have a problem with her dying narratively though.
But hold on. Why does you implying that this is a morning movie? Why did they kill Ramonda? That's kind of subjective, don't you think? Like, as if you're saying that you already experienced enough pain outside the movie, so you didn't want to experience more going in.
See how it's not about me no more?
Not at all.
See how it's not about me no more?
What do you mean?
Everybody else chiming in, bro. I mean, what you good? I know they want to get their opinions off real quick.
Jody,
I just want to destroy you real quick.
What you? I for sure, my nigga. I like other niggas talking, bro. A nigga running this shit. I for sure. Who was she?
Don't run from me, nigga.
Shit, nigga,
don't run from
running,
me.
nigga.
Hey,
last fruit
so here it is. Riri Williams is the only one in the world that can develop a machine to detect vibranium, and the government is seeking her out to utilize her machine, my nigga.
Yeah, that's asinine.
What's the issue with that?
That was asinine, though. That was asinine.
Oh, okay, E. Yeah, perfect. All right, E. What
E-man, bro.
Done. Nigga, you see Swag is coming to you?
E-man.
You see how Swag is engaging you? Ladies and gentlemen, Swag has lost. He don't want this.
What you
nigga
mean,
just
bro?
ran to E. That nigga said, good. Oh, E-man. Hey, man, good. I'm glad you're here. For sure, my nigga. For sure.
Nah, bro. Yo,
Bring,
don't let him
bring that pussy here.
Yo, E, don't let him disrespect you like that, dog. You see what this nigga doing, bro? He's trying to turn us against each other, man. This nigga.
Wait, hold on. Am I wrong or
we're all in now? The discussion goes in. Everybody, we're all in. It's not.
I was looking forward to the show. I thought we were gonna get a one-on-one.
I have to ask this for Riri. She created this machine for a school project, and then the government stole that idea from her. Isn't that what she said in the movie? She said that
she made it for her teacher. She said her teacher said that she couldn't do it,
yeah.
And she ended up doing it. And then when she gave it to the teacher, they end up basically taking it from the teacher, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to do this. I'm so sorry. I have to do this. Right? This is really important to me. I'm so sorry. So, Jody, you conceded on the point of the Ramonda death, right? You conceded?
Hey, man, leave me alone, bully.
Bro, I don't know what you
want.
Did you concede?
Leave me alone. I don't know what you want from me, bro.
Dog, listen,
but
dog.
I tried. I engaged you.
We have to
keep
move
deviating.
In order to move the conversation forward.
I got some hard cock for you, and that little hole keep running from you. I'm trying to stick it. I'm lubed up. I'm lubed up out here.
Did you concede?
No, my nigga, because you look like Sherry, my nigga. You look just like her, my nigga. God dang. Why do you look like Shuri?
Hey, bro, I told you, yeah, bro.
I'm watching you in this movie like, what the freak?
This
look like Swag Kage.
That's your fucking twin, bro.
Why do you look same haircut, same face? God damn.
That's your twin, bro.
Bro.
That is your twin.
Listen. Do you concede, my nigga? Stop with the insults, the ad hominems, my nigga.
He's not joking. I said,
oh my God.
I said to myself, she reminds me of somebody. Who does she remind me of?
Is this what we doing? Is this what we doing?
No, I'm swear to God. Is this? Are we lying?
Nah, no cap.
No cap, Swag.
No cap.
He's like, oh my God, the haircut. She remind me. Now you don't look anything like a woman, so don't even take that
So
personal.
you
I
saying she look
mean,
But
masculine?
the haircut,
hey,
she
sus
had the
gang,
same
my nigga.
haircut.
You got them highlights on
She
them
had the
tips,
same
bro. That shit look
jawbone.
nice,
She had the
bro.
whole.
Like your highlights, swag.
Okay, my nigga. Every nigga with curls got an eye for sure. It looks like me. Anyways, anyway.
Oh, nigga,
We
stop it,
definitely
bro.
brought your name up
Swag,
in
she
the
look
movie.
like you, my nigga. Stop
We
it.
definitely brought your name up in the movie theater. This is not happening right here.
You died off?
I feel you.
You did.
I mean, to go back to the Riri thing, I feel like Jody isn't really like bringing that up anymore. Like, he said that
What's up, Jeff?
you said that your big problem was that Riri was the only one that could come up with this machine,
Yes.
but
On accident. She did it on accident.
There
Yeah,
have nobody else. Nobody else have ever came up
hold
with
on.
this
Yeah,
idea
yeah.
ever.
She's a genius. She goes to MIT. She's a genius. Like, what's the
Right.
issue there?
So
How many
what's
people
that
go
mean?
to MIT?
She's lapping Franklin, Iron Man, anybody else out there that's smart too.
Yeah, some of the smartest people in the world go to MIT. Like, I don't. Why is that such a
That's
big
the
deal?
point. Like you're
There's
telling me nobody else in MIT could have came up with something
Why does
similar.
that have to be
bro.
someone else?
What?
Not Riri
Wait,
Williams.
I'm so sorry. I
Why
have
does that have to be someone else, but not?
holy
Why
fuck.
can't it be
You
Riri
do
Williams?
realize that
It couldn't be. It shouldn't be anybody.
that
All these you
exact
telling me,
same
but
that
it
exact
makes
same
no sense that you're
argument.
telling me all these other scientists in the world that from the CIA, from the FBI, from the NSA, from even
Yeah.
Shield couldn't even figure out Wakanda
Yeah.
tech, but she's the only one that came
Yeah,
up with
that's
that.
a problem, Jeff.
That
Okay,
makes no sense,
so
bro.
let me ask you a question.
E-man, bro.
Yeah,
E-man, not E.
Let me ask you a question. In Iron Man, whichever the fuck was it, Iron Man 3 or 2, when he created a new element, did that surprise you? Like, why didn't all these scientists in the entire world and only Iron Man could create a new element, even though they have dozens of research
His
and all that?
dad figured that
It's
shit
not the
out.
same. It's
Say-
not the
Part of
same.
the
Say it
equation.
again.
Okay, so
Yeah,
He just
good shit,
basically
5
just
star.
yeah,
Good
just
shit,
said,
5
bro.
star.
in one of the Iron Man movies, he found a way to create a new element. So you're
Yep.
telling me out of the
His
thousands,
daddy figured it out, and he finished the equation.
out of
Let's
the
be clear on
thousands,
that.
out of the thousands, hold on.
Christian Black. Oh, this nigga was here. He ain't here no more. Thanks for having me on, Jody, man. Can't stay. Thank you, man, because I know it's Monday, bro. I appreciate you, dog. He says, can't stay. Yep, got to get my daughter to sleep. This movie was a huge disappointment. Having that BBS Martha moment between Namor and Shuri with them seeing their mothers, huge L, Ryan. Sad. Let me bless you with this 20. Oh, that's fifth.
Tight.
That's
tight.
that 70 motherfucker.
Nice.
That's right,
I'm
my
having
nigga.
a good night.
Shoot,
And-
nigga, you
and
got
the-
more than me tonight, Zach. Go ahead, bro.
The
What
new
your bad self?
tradition. Shout out to everybody in
glad
the
of
chat.
it.
The new tradition, everybody, while y'all in the chat, when y'all leave, y'all got to donate to get out the chat. That's how y'all leaving. Jeff, Swag, Thundercat.
All right, welcome, Lottie. Lottie is in this motherfucker now. All right, for sure. Let's continue. Good night, Christian.
Good night, Christian. Thank you,
like,
brother.
Kind of sounds to me when you dig a little deep, people don't really have big issues like that. Just very, very big nitpicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Jeff,
mean,
Jeff,
I
we
get
got-
that.
Jeff,
I
are we
get
solved?
that.
Are we
Hold
solved
on.
on the reread machine?
No, I don't think we are. Because
Okay.
that seems
What
like
else
a
do
really
we-
crazy
Well,
thing
are
to
we
be.
going to? Okay, let's go.
Bro,
be
we
nitpicking
got
about. Hold
got
on.
in the fact that there's a lot of Iron Man shit that was up in here, bro.
I'm with.
Everything.
That's
was-
my problem.
Hold
was
on.
start
Hold on.
tech.
Let's stick to the Riri thing. Stick to the Riri thing for 1 second.
Let's stick to the reread
'Cause
thing for a second.
I am very.
Nope, 'cause
I'm
you're
honestly
not reread.
curious to understand why that's such a big point of contention. Because it seems
Yeah,
like
me too.
it's just because it is Riri Williams, a black girl, is smart enough to create this. Like that seems like that's the reason why people are so upset. Because if you say
I'm
like
with
some
Jeff
of the
on
smartest people in the world are at MIT right now, it's not too out of like the realm of possibility that.
But her
they're not.
intelligence brings her up to Tony Stark. She wouldn't be at MIT. They would
And
have
what
her somewhere in a secret
what
lab.
brings Tony Stark above the rest of us?
That's facts.
So let me break it down for Jeff real quick. It's like college basketball or any college sport. You can excel, go to the great schools and all that, but you're in the little leagues. Once you get to the big leagues,
That's not
you're
true.
MIT valedictorian. It is true.
No, it's not.
Jeff,
That's how it works.
Valedictorian.
Jody.
You could be a valedictorian at MIT, and you're at the bottom of the tote when it comes to advanced physics at NSA.
That's not Jody. Jody.
true.
That's not true. First off, shout out Boston because I'm from Boston and all that, MIT and all that. There are every single year there are geniuses at these colleges that
Yes.
drop out, create something that people didn't think was possible before. Scientists, machine learning engineers, whatever it might be. That is these people are there for a reason, and and just because you're professional or you graduated however long ago, that doesn't make you smarter than them. There's a reason that they're called geniuses, that they're in these positions.
What are you talking about? You talking about geniuses that are students at MIT?
How many
I'm
students?
talking about Riri
They're
Williams.
students for a reason. They're learning from professors who are smarter than them.
No, that's not the what? Are you
What are
saying
you
there's
talking
no
about, bro?
case
What
of
is
somebody
it?
being
What is-
smarter
Do
than
you,
you?
Get
do you know what it
again.
takes? Oh my God. Do you know what it takes to be a student in MIT? You do, right?
I do.
It's a
Do you know
lot.
what it takes to be a professor at MIT?
I
It's a
do.
lot.
So, all right. So the students don't know as much as the professors mostly.
All right, this is easily refutable. Jody, let me ask you.
That's why we hire them. And did you know that there's professors at MIT that can't figure out a lot of shit that we have government officials working on now because they're real prodigies? Forget about being valedictorian. I'm talking about your brain different,
You're
nigga.
wrong about
Like
that.
Dewey Hauser and shit,
Jody,
bro.
do business professors? Hold on, Jody. Do business?
Chill.
Jody, do business professors have a business?
Hey! Can't stay. Keep up the debate going. Please have my own thoughts, but glad for this discussion. Yeah, we gonna be out of here in a minute though, bro. I appreciate your love, James. Appreciate my dogs. Love
Hey,
as
man.
well, man.
Hey man, there's a reason why LeBron skipped college and went straight to the league.
Bro, stop
Yes.
comparing it to sports, bro. This
Yo,
is
what are these arguments?
Stop. You're talking about
It's all the
academics.
same. It's
You're
all
talking
the
about
same.
academics right
It's
now. bro.
academics too.
Well, let's put it
No,
like this,
that's
though,
not,
too.
that's
Let's
not
put
the
it like
case,
this.
man.
Bro, what are these
A
arguments?
lot of people who go to MIT and everything, they end up getting recruited.
My nigga, Neil deGrasse Tyson runs circles around a gang of MIT students, my nigga. When you're special, you're special.
Yeah, facts.
Riri
So you-
is
Stop making
supposed-
it. You're hyping up MIT. It's tight. It's our greatest school and all that. But nigga, there's a lot of people that go to MIT who are just smart.
You
Right,
what,
but
you proved
Riri-
up.
Riri special.
Riri's not-
Riri special is like
Oh
Neil is
my
It
God.
take a lot to get in MIT, though. It
Damn,
takes a
it's
lot to get in.
being a
MIT.
genius
Yeah.
is totally different, my
But
nigga.
she's-
That nigga Tony Stark went to MIT and gave them students money, but all of them look up to Tony Stark because Tony Stark knows more than everybody at that goddamn school.
But
And you
in-
trying to, and Jeff and you're trying to hype up MIT like it's the place to be.
No.
Nigga, Franklin Richards and Tony Stark and freaking Hulk will freaking run circles around them
No,
students,
she's
bro.
actually
Both of these
smarter.
things are not mutually
She's
We're
exclusive.
not
supposed
talking
to
about
be
comics.
smarter.
I
Tony
know.
Stark
We're not talking
created
about the
time
comics, though.
travel, bro. Like, why? I don't.
All right.
Think about you're thinking about like. Just
Well, he didn't
regular
create it.
students
He
thinking
figured out a
things.
way to go through it.
All right,
But he
whatever.
came up with the
Ant-Man
idea
shit,
with
yeah.
because his daughter, bro.
Yeah.
The whole point is that Riri is supposed to be a genius, super exceptional student, mind,
Yeah, but
whatever.
She wouldn't be
Why
at
is
MIT
that
if
not
that
good?
was the case. She'd be at
That's, I
Shield.
mean, I get it.
They're not
You
both.
don't shoehorn
Says
this
who?
girl
What do you mean?
and make her. You don't shoehorn this girl and make her the a lightning rod for the whole basis of the movie, bro. Like if you want to be the smartest ever, you gotta intro that shit and build
Why?
and do that right.
Why?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
What do you mean why? Because that's just how organically story films work. if
That's
want
how you have
respect.
to make
Okay,
a
so,
character. That's how
you
you
gotta get that
introduce a
build-up. You gotta
character.
build up to it,
Explain
yeah.
to me how it's not organic.
Bro, they just said, oh, it's a girl at a school. We got to go get her.
Yeah.
You made the machine come to Wakanda. What the freak are you talking
Now,
about?
how would they?
That shit
How
was
did-
rushed.
now,
Bro,
how-
even the characters in that film
It was
couldn't
too quick.
believe
It
that
was
shit.
too quick.
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
explain it in a way that would be organic.
In a way that would be organic?
Yes,
You put her in a proper Iron Man movie, bro, and
No,
learn
what
from the master.
bro.
You do realize Riri Williams' first suit looks just like Iron Man's, right? You do realize that she looked up to Tony Stark, right? But they didn't do that in this movie.
They kind of just put her in there. I ain't
That
gonna
was
lie.
my problem. That was my problem, honestly.
What you
Yeah, she
do,
has
what you
Stark
do with a
files. She has Stark
prodigy
files
is you
and
put a
shit, bro.
prodigy with somebody else that's smart to help develop
Who
them.
made that rule? That
Theory.
makes sense.
Because that's
What do you mean? That just builds character.
I'm going to Jeff. That's how MIT works.
Okay, why did
You
Spider-Man get introduced to Civil War just out of the blue? Why didn't they have his own movie and build him up first?
Contractual reasons, business
Why
reasons.
did Black
come on,
Panther?
bro.
That's the
Almost,
other
now we're going outside the movie.
Yes. Spider-Man,
What the
you're bringing
hell?
up shit. You're bringing up shit that
Your
you should
arguments
know
are
the answer to.
inconsistent. You're just making
No,
shit
I'm not.
up.
But here's the
Yeah,
difference.
you
Here's the
probably-
difference.
oh
Hold
my
up.
God.
Hold up. Hold
Oh.
up. Here's the difference.
This nigga killed
Spider-Man was owned by Sony. Riri Williams is a whole different ending. Like, it's
No,
a made-up
Correct.
character.
Correct.
That's
So
a
if you're
problem.
saying, so
No,
if
no,
you're
I don't say
saying,
the same for.
so if you're,
Swag doesn't understand that they broke down the contract negotiations between Sony and Marvel, and they said, "Jump in this movie real quick." And Swag's trying to run with it. Why did you organically build him? He's Spider-Man.
What about Black? What about Black Panther? What about Black Panther? The same year in Civil War.
Yes, Black Panther showed up, and that fool was awesome, bro. But we didn't know about his character.
Exactly.
We can't.
But why-
can't
But
say
guess
Black
what?
Panther's
Guess what they did?
cannot-
They gave him a movie afterwards.
Yeah, we cannot say Black Panther was a dope character
did
in
you
Civil War.
laugh like, as if you made a point, as if they're not?
Yes, he
gonna
made a
think
point.
of
Yes, he
film?
did make a point.
Wait,
because you
wait,
introduced
are you
him and he was
implying-
cool, and then you gave him some background in his own solo film.
Are they
All
not
of us
doing the
praise
same
Black
thing?
Panther.
Oh.
Everybody plays Black Panther in Civil
And
War.
the
for
other
what he
thing is, Black
physically
Panther
did.
has been a part of Marvel since the dawn, like since like 1940.
Hold up,
Riri Williams has just been introduced in 20 what?
Hold on. So Jody and
Thundercat,
Christian
you still want
Black
to ride
or
with this
whoever
nigga?
spoke, Jody and the other
Yeah,
person,
I
right?
mean, yeah. That's
So
my
you guys
guy.
are telling me that Black Panther just showing up out of nowhere in Civil War would have been a problem if he hadn't got his own movie. So we had to wait 2 years for it not to be a
Yeah.
problem. So we had to.
No, that's listen.
What?
We
No,
are talking
so
about writing. God
so no, no,
damn.
no, no, no. But here's my point though, right? With this whole Riri Williams show, like it or not, isn't she about to get a show?
Yes.
Isn't they? Aren't they about to follow her up and dive more into her
But here's
character?
the difference. Here's
Yes.
the
It's like a
difference. You
backyard
Yeah, but
couldn't.
Aren't we
companion.
about to
But
get
here's the
10
difference.
hours?
But
But
we're still.
here's the
But I'm
difference.
still.
You
We're
could have
still gonna get an
introduced her
explanation.
before that.
just like Black Panther.
Right. He says
Yes.
it's before that. E-Man, go ahead. What you got?
We're still
You
gonna
can
get
make
an
it no,
explanation
bro. You make it
of her
absolutely
being
no
in
sense.
Wakanda, what she had to do in Wakanda into her story. Because I mean, that would be dumb for them not to do that. They're gonna
Yeah.
talk about her, what she did in
Yeah.
Wakanda, and then her building her own armor suit.
I mean, to me, honestly, if we're just
PG-14.
talking about
Show's not a film.
if
It's
we're
not.
just talking about the movie, her going back home makes zero sense. There's no way she should be able to go back home because technically, the United States should know she was just helping out Wakanda, and obviously, the United States has a problem with Wakanda.
And the way she was acting was killing me. Like, can I get back home? You're in Wakanda, little bitch.
Yo, hold
I
on,
was
Jody.
gonna say, I ain't going back home. I ain't going back home.
Can I call my mother?
I get the can I call my mother part,
Hey,
my
my
nigga,
nigga,
but
I don't care
you're
if
in the
I'm
most
going-
technological
Your mother
advanced
may be
place on Earth,
arrested by
and you're
by
worried
the
about
FBI.
MIT.
I don't
There's shit
care.
that MIT can't teach you in Wakanda.
Nigga, I
She
don't
should be
care.
going
I don't care if
insane
I'm
being
going.
in Wakanda right now.
I don't
You know
care
what I'm
if I'm
saying?
going to
like
El
somebody
Dorado. I don't care if I'm-
that's a genius. Somebody that's a genius that love technology, that love building things. You're in Wakanda. Everything that you want to look for is here.
Yes.
You've never seen nothing. Nobody. This is
You know what
Stark
what
tech.
familiarity?
You seeing things that Tony Stark don't even have.
Okay,
You should be
you
going
know what
insane with it.
familiarity is? If someone is not familiar with a certain place, don't you think it's reasonable for them to
But I would all that would go right out the window if I had the necessary tools to make things that people have never seen before.
You're making absolutely no sense. I said
Did
familiarity.
she not go crazy when she saw Shuri?
She is familiar. She knew who Shuri was. She knew who
No.
Wakanda was.
I'm talking
Did
about.
she not say,
She knew
"Oh my
about
God"?
Wakanda.
She said, "Oh my God, am I getting recruited?"
I'm saying her
You telling me that,
home,
like-
her friends, her people, her boyfriend. Her
All that shit's gone with the CIA, nigga.
Bro, what are you
Right,
talking
that's
about?
my problem. That's my problem.
Swag,
Honestly.
you realize
All
the
that shit's
CIA,
gone.
the CIA came to
wants
to
her.
snatch her up, bro.
She's been in Wakanda.
When you guys are making this sound like an
She was
interesting
mainly
in the
just being a
movie,
girl. And
but
getting-
you're just evoking your own emotional. You're only evoking your own emotional state. What you would do if you were in that position, right? I don't care if I was in El Dorado, Valhalla, nigga. I want to get back to my moms. I want to get back to my friends. I don't care. If you're
I would have
talking
asked the
relatability, why
Wakandas
don't
to
you
bring them to
understand?
me rather than damn fucking trying to
Nigga,
sit
if
there and
you
go
take me
back.
to Wakanda, I'm like,
All
I'm
right,
out,
it's all
nigga,
different.
my nigga.
I'm out.
So
my nigga.
I mean,
Teach me
let's
what I
talk
need
about
to
the
know.
real
it's all
biggest
about
problem
differences,
with
bro.
Riri.
Everybody
though.
different. Yeah.
So let's talk about the real biggest problem with her for me. I don't
Yeah, for once,
understand.
let's talk
She didn't mention Tony Stark once, but it's obviously she's copying his technology. That's a problem.
Well, hold
That's a problem.
up.
That's
Tony
the
Stark
problem.
has a penis.
Don't
Tony
forget,
Stark has a
don't
penis.
forget. She said there was a YouTube video for it.
Wait, hold on.
Tony Stark
I
has a
really
penis.
need to
No,
ask
no,
this.
that was on flight. She
I-
said on flight or whatever.
Everyone-
but she said
everyone is moving
she
so
got the
fast. I
blueprints
really
from
need
a
to
trash
ask this.
can from Stark's tech. For basically, it was just
The-
Stark.
The person who
That's all they
said
mentioned was Stark.
the person who said it's a big problem. Let me ask you a question. This is really important, right? You said it's a big problem, right? Her not mentioning Tony Stark. How much percentage of the movie did it take away from you? How much did it lower your grade? Her not mentioning Tony Stark because you said it was a big problem. Let's talk about one of the biggest problems in this movie. That's what you
Who
said.
said that?
I mean, it stops it. I gave the movie a B plus, me personally.
Okay,
So,
but
I
you
mean,
said it was a big problem. If
Ugh.
it mentioned
It is a
Tony
big problem.
Stark, if they
Yes.
mentioned Tony Stark, it would have been an A minus.
It would
Damn,
have
my
been an
nigga.
8 minus.
Bro, you stuck, bro.
Man, my nigga.
It would have been an
Look,
A
I'ma
minus.
just say it
No,
like
it still
this.
would have been a B plus, but it's an issue with the movie. I mean, when we give a grade for a movie, there are things that give and take away the movie. Is that by itself going to make it an A minus? No, but is it contributing to the fact that it's a B plus instead of an A minus? Yes. What are we talking about?
These are the two niggas that actually agree on this movie that think it's great.
Jody,
so
I didn't
that's-
think it was
nigga,
that good.
Jody,
I'm not gonna lie.
Jody, these your mans, my nigga. These your mans.
No, that's your man. He thinks he's with you, nigga. What's wrong with
Yo,
you?
your side.
He thinks the movie's good, bro. He gave it a B plus. He's with you,
Oh, wait,
nigga.
fuck, that is my man. Fuck.
Jody.
I want to ask you about the one problem that you have in this film.
Jody.
What's up?
If all right, I'm sorry, I'm keep going back to this, but if they went to go find the scientist and when they went and got the person and it turned out to be Peter Parker, would that have been an issue?
No, maybe not.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Only one
has
in
to
the
be an
only one in
issue.
the
Wait, why?
world. Yeah.
Why would
Yeah.
that?
I mean, no one knows who he is though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
I want to be like, nah, this nigga's as smart as heck. No, freak that.
We
How?
have, it's a problem because they haven't shown this version of Peter Parker being that
Yeah,
smart.
I would have an issue with that. I'd be like,
Okay.
what the freak?
They haven't shown this Peter being that smart. So
Okay,
that's a
so
problem.
Another problem I have with that.
That's
Have.
You
That's
guys realize this argument is like
Is that it, Jeff? Is that are we with the Riri? Because I want to move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Next.
Let's go.
Artificial heart-shaped herb, 3D printed from a 3D print machine.
All right,
That was mine.
Bullshit.
that was
fictional science.
That is the most.
that was pretty bad. I ain't gonna cap.
Hold on.
Jody, that shit.
Hold on.
That was pretty bad.
Shout out to my nigga dog. Thank you, my brother.
You might want to take them back. I think Shabuizi might be.
Knock, knock.
Shout out to Knock, bro. Black Panther was average at best for me. It was underwhelming. Knock says that the acting was amazing, but the action, once again, was terrible. I agree.
Yeah.
I was just disappointed. I gave it a C.
It's about right.
The action is terrible in this movie. It's not good.
It's only one good
Swag,
fight.
do you think this action is good in this movie?
Yeah, it's leagues above the first one. Yeah.
Oh, Lord,
Action, what are you
Jesus.
talking about? What is this nigga talking about?
Yeah, was
Jesus.
great.
You telling me that final fight is better than the?
I agree,
You
Swag.
stay off that other herb, bro. Leave that-
Low-key, that was low-key disrespectful as hell.
Here come Weezy.
Wild,
Come
bro.
another Boston.
That
nigga,
was
this
low-key
motherfucker-
disrespectful as hell. Jesus
This
Christ.
nigga crazy. Hey, I see it, bro. You're an agent of chaos, Swag. You're on a mission, nigga.
Beantown.
You're out of here, man. Hey, Shabuizi,
Ooh,
man, what's up
Lord.
with your mans over here?
Hold on,
bro?
I got a question though. I got a question. Are you saying that because we had that CGI moment at the end of the damn first movie?
No, because if you look at objective things, right? There's objective things we can look at, like CGI, which is objectively is better in this movie, right? We can look at choreography, which is
debatable.
objectively better in this
It's
movie.
not.
So name
Nah.
again, we supposed to be on the
Action's way
same
better.
side, bro. But like, we can't say that the Killmonger in T'Challa fight wasn't better than anything we got in this movie.
No,
we can't say him
Facts.
versus M'Baku
T'Challa
wasn't
fight was
better than
way
anything.
better.
The
No,
Warrior Falls fight with M'Baku
The
was better than every
exactly.
fight scene
We
in
can't
this
say the
movie.
Warrior Falls fight
There
for
was only
T'Challa
one good
and
fight. Only
M'Baku.
one good fight
When we
scene,
say
and that's
we
horrible.
can't say
The only fight in that scene in this
Swag,
movie
you crazy.
was literally on the bridge. That was the only one that was good.
That's the best fight. That's
the
the best
fight
fight.
scene.
That's
His name is
bad
your main
news
character,
right
that's the
there.
best fight.
How you have an only fight scene between Okoye and that blue dude fighting each other on the bridge the main time? The whole time that we get all these fights, every fight is trash, bro. The action is whack on this.
So
It's
here's
whack.
the thing, right? We're back into like subjectivity, which is
Oh my God.
no, but I'm
Man,
being
you need to
honest.
stop with the subjectivity and all that other shit, man. We just gotta say what it is.
It's true. Who am I to say? Who am I
All
to
right,
say?
we think the action's bad. You think it's better than Black Panther 1. For
That's
sure.
low-key
Let's move on to the next thing, my nigga. We're talking about that artificial heart-shaped herb. Swag, explain yourself.
All right, perfectly. I'll explain this. Okay, so when it comes to fictional science and superhero movies, right, based upon the explanations they give, we have to take it. And the burden, if there are no inconsistencies with what they've showed, the burden is on you to prove that the science, right, to prove that the science shouldn't work in which specific way that they're using it in. That the burden's on you.
They went stupid with that fucking shit. Like, I don't get me wrong.
Okay,
we've got
why?
things now that will print hearts and shit, but printing a freaking flower? Are you joking? Like, what?
Why?
Because here's the problem. Here's the problem.
No.
Because
Let
it's
it
a
speak.
fuck. You know,
Hold on,
sorry.
Lottie. Hold on, Lottie. I know you want
I'm
to get in
sorry.
there. Let Trixie go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trixie.
Oh, she don't want to go. All right, freak.
I said, to be fair, I know we've got like 3D printers now that can print hearts and all that kind of bullshit, but printing a fucking flower, like you're gonna print
Printers now can print flowers that are real.
Like, what kind of retardation is that?
Okay,
printers
so-
now can print flowers that are real.
Okay.
They print hearts, they print
It's
lungs,
still
they print
stupid.
all
If
shit
it
that
glows,
works
it works.
Let me
Yeah, it depends on the material.
Why
let
did
me
they
use
use T'Challa's DNA? Why?
Thank you, Shabuizi. Thank you. Say that again to them, bro.
So Shabuizi asked the question, and Flash. Shabuizi asked the question, and Flash helped me. He told me what he was hearing, like from the kids at school or wherever on the internet. What Flash told me was the reason why what people are saying out there. I can't say it's me. What people are saying out there, the reason why they used T'Challa's DNA was to prove was to help Shuri be able to fight.
That's wild.
Martial arts.
That's fucking wild.
Trash as fuck, bro.
That's what Flash told me.
I don't know.
For real?
Flash heard that.
It's not bad, but it is kind of
that's
foolish.
wild.
But
That's
but
wild.
it's not
Because
How is
bad.
that possible?
Because I can see it.
Shuri can't fight. Why could she do martial arts? Why could she fight?
So through his DNA,
Just because you got the suit, nigga. How the freak you learn how to fight? Shuri?
Because like in the
his
comic
DNA
book,
taught you like how to.
because even in the comic book, he learns almost every martial art known to man. That's his whole. Even before he had the damn the heart shaped herb, that's what he was good for. That's what he was learning. Shuri's not that. So she would have to literally get every knowledge from T'Challa's blood to be able to fight and use any combat that came relatively to his body. So
But that opens up a can of worms that is just.
I know, and that's why it's like stupid as hell.
My problem with
don't even get onto genetic memory. That's just fucking long.
my problem with
Swag. So you're saying that the heart shaped herb being fake is okay, even though I told you it's tied to a religion and a god.
It's not though. It's not.
My problem.
It is.
Wait. In the first Black Panther, they said it's not.
What?
Wait, let
Jeff.
him finish.
Who said it's not?
Jeff. Explain to me why the heart shaped herb has nothing to do with Boss.
I just watched the scene, and they said that.
Okay.
They said that one man got a vision to find this heart shaped herb that had been affected by the vibranium that hit the ground.
Where was that from? Who was that vision? Who was that from?
The
Just
vision
because
was
he
from
got
Boss,
the
but the
vision from
actual
Boss doesn't mean it's affected
hold on,
by
but the
Boss.
actual herb was just affected by the vibranium. The vision to find it was Boss. That's literally what it says in the opening scene. I just watched.
No, the soil, that land is of Boss. That's his land. That is his freaking land. The Boss in the soil conforming with the vibranium is what makes it.
No, I think
special
you should.
and
I think you should pull up
Why
any
you
of those
think?
scenes.
Why you think they start?
Yes.
Why you think they start wearing
Hold
Black
on.
Panther mask and stuff, bro?
Hold
Boss
on, I know.
told them all about that.
Wait, while
Hold on, man. Let me and Jeff.
while we were just on stream, I pulled up the intro scene of Black Panther and I watched it, and it said that a meteorite hit the Earth and it hit the Earth, and the meteorite, the actual vibranium, started to affect the plant life around it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then a man got a vision from Boss to find a plant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boss didn't affect the plant. He just gave him the vision to find it.
Yes.
But it's still based off of God.
So you guys are saying, all right,
the
cool.
plant was only affected by the vibranium.
Okay, cool. Let's run with what you're saying, Jeff.
It's not run out, but that's it. But all right, go ahead.
I mean, we all
All right,
accept
I'm about to wreck you. Just slow down.
All right.
Swag, Thundercat, Lottie, chill, please. Jeff, if what you're saying is true, why do they have an ancestral plane? Why does the Black Panther need to go to Boss to get the powers?
That gets explained in Moon Knight. The hippo in Moon
That
Knight
means
explains
Jeff, hold on.
the astral
5-star. What'd you say, 5-star, man, my nigga? After I asked everybody to not say nothing.
Oh shit! Thank you, 5-star, for that alley oop, my nigga. Thank you.
What did you say, 5-star?
The ancestral plane is one of the many planes that exists as an afterlife. Because when Moon Knight dies in his show, right, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm in this realm, afterlife for the Egyptian people." And the hippo goes, "Yes, this is one of the
for sure.
many
Back on
realms
Jeff.
that
For sure. Do that after I'm done.
So that's
Jeff,
explained.
Yeah.
Jeff, why is it that they need to go through Boss to get the powers of the Black Panther if it's already done?
They don't.
They don't.
They proved it in this movie. They don't.
No, they need to find a herb that is affected by the vibranium in that exact way that it was when a meteorite hit the Earth, however long ago. And then
So they don't have to do
that. Then they have the powers of Black Panther.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed, Jody, but this movie very
that's what I
much
was
has a lot of
explaining.
technology versus religion undertones.
Hold on, look.
Yes, it does. But I want to. Me and Jeff are talking.
I'll be honest, Jeff. I think you're being a bit disingenuous.
Yeah,
even I
don't
can
need
admit,
that.
like that doesn't make any sense. You have to.
It does. I want to get him there though.
Okay.
I want to get him there. Basically, what you're saying is that anybody could take the herb, break that shit down in a liquid, which is a tribal thing, how they do it, and then drink that shit and become Black Panther.
No, listen, I'm not being disingenuous. I'm literally just saying what the actual facts that have been outlined, and then whether
But we don't need that to prove our point. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, but I'm saying whether that it might not make sense based off of Wakanda Forever versus the first movie. But these are the only things that have actually been outlined.
You are right, but it's implied that the Panther God has something to do. It's an implication. By taking the herb, you get to see the Panther God. It's all implied. You know.
Why you think?
Correct.
Why you think they buried? Why you think they buried him in? Why you think they buried him in they prayed to Boss.
We'll even use this scene, Jeff, in this movie. When Shuri took the freaking shit and saw Killmonger, she was upset. She came to and she got mad. Why didn't my mother come to me?
But she didn't get mad though.
Yeah, she was. She was pissed off.
What?
Nigga.
She was
She was hella
Went
pissed
off on
off.
Nakia.
So why
did
we got that
She said-
flashback at the end that basically said, okay, so she went to Killmonger because she wanted someone to tell her it was okay to kill this guy. Because we got the flashback at the end that she was like, "You're right, I'm not my brother. I want revenge."
That wasn't no flashback, nigga. That was Ramonda coming to her in the moment in the sky.
No.
That was her just coming to
At the
him.
end, at the end of the Ramonda did come to her, but no. While they were fighting, there was the flashback to her talking to Killmonger, and she says, "You're right, I'm not my brother. I want revenge." She says that to him. So yes,
She does.
Killmonger's whole point to her was, "Hey, you really didn't want your mom. You didn't want your brother. You wanted me because you wanted me to tell you that it's okay
You
to
wanted
kill this guy."
retribution.
Why? What the freak does that got to do with the scene when she took the freaking fluid for the first time, bro?
I mean, I thought you were. Go ahead. I thought you were. We moved on, dog.
No, my nigga.
Nah,
We're talking about when she
I'm
first
actually-
took the juice in the lab. When she first took the heart-shaped, that blue-shaped fish god herb. When she took a fish god's herb and prayed to a different god named Boss, nigga. And then she came out of it and she saw Killmonger instead. She came out of it and was like, "Why did they abandon me? Where was my mother? They abandoned me. Where was my brother? Where were they?"
But we know that was.
She didn't believe in Boss, my nigga. She didn't believe in the Wakandan tradition.
That was naturally her problem from the first movie.
But somehow she still got the powers, my nigga, which is blasphemous, my nigga.
Well, I don't think it's again.
The plant gives you the powers, yeah.
The plant gives you the powers, not the god.
Nigga.
Honestly,
Again,
look. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is.
Honestly, I'm confused.
Look, hold up.
Becomes the Black Panther. The ritual that has existed for generations, fruit from the flower, is offered to the one who is worthy to claim that mental. So, yeah, anyone who eats it does basically get that shit, but it's normally like some sort of ritual, to kind of basically crown it, to be quite fair.
You got to be chosen by Boss.
Wait, so Killmonger was worthy? Was Killmonger worthy?
Killmonger is an actual Wakandan who defeated T'Challa in ritual combat the right way, who is the son of Prince Jobu. Yes. He did that shit the right way. That's why Killmonger doing it, I supported it because he went for years away and he learned the tradition under his father. He knew how to speak Wakandan. He was a Wakandan, bro. He learned it and did it the right way.
He had a whole fucking journal.
Yes.
He learned it and did it the right way, but was he worthy of the Black Panther title?
If by doing it the way he did it, yes.
No.
He beat the dude in ritual
Just
combat.
because you have my nigga, don't get it twisted that you have to be a Superman in the head, my nigga. Yeah. Just because he had a different ideal. Hey, bro, there's some kings of.
Look, this is how it works. If I challenge a king to ritual combat, and I say, if I win, I become the king. That's how it works, whether you're worthy or not.
I mean, they established.
Is that the case though, or is that tradition?
That's how it always works.
So traditions don't
It's
change.
just a tradition, but that's not how the rule
Traditions
works.
don't change.
No, that's why the tradition.
No, that's why it's called tradition. What the hell are you talking about?
What are we talking about? So we're saying
traditions don't change.
So we're saying
the
that
purpose of a
Thanksgiving,
tradition.
the way we celebrate Thanksgiving, which is coming up, has been the same for the last 40 years. That's what we're saying.
I think we need Christmas trees on the 4th of July.
No.
Yo, hold up, pause.
No.
Going trick or treating for Easter.
No. So we're saying the way we celebrated Thanksgiving for the last 200 years has remained the same.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
This has been.
Wakanda? Yeah, thousands of years, bro. Yeah.
So we're saying the way we've celebrated Thanksgiving since whoever the fuck created Thanksgiving.
Well, Thanksgiving low key
for the last 20 years.
Whoa. Thanksgiving is low key bullshit though.
When Christmas first started, it was a pagan holiday compared to what it is
still
now.
a pagan holiday.
No, it's not. No, it's
nigga. Thanksgiving and Christmas are still pagan holidays.
We getting off subject. Let's
Anybody want to send me a PlayStation?
Let's not talk about all the Christmas and all the other shit. Let's get back on this.
But I'm gonna say it again. If a conqueror comes and he challenges the king for his kingdom, guess what? They fight it out. If the conqueror wins, guess what? He gets the kingdom and he becomes king. That's how it works.
Why do you think
easy work? The Submariner should have just came on Challenge Day.
Mind you, they changed that in the comic books. Before you had to have a royal blood.
Okay.
But then they with the original huddling, that Shuri shit and moving forward, bro. It's like anybody could be the motherfucking Black Panther now.
Yes.
So he is different now.
So
Like,
Why you think
Submariner
it's
really
funny
could have
it's-
came up on Challenge Day and really got in their ass.
no, you got to be Wakandan, bro.
Well,
He has to be
Killmonger
Wakandan. Remember, he
said
already
that
has
was
power.
challenging
He already
for
has
the
fruit from
throne
that damn
and to be
thing.
Black Panther. He didn't want
Yeah,
just
yeah.
one. He wanted both.
Before the mantle was one and the same. If you were the Black Panther, you got to be the king. But now it's separate. Like different.
I could be the Black Panther and don't have to be king.
T'Challa was the Black Panther already. His father still was the king.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So I mean,
So,
so if that's the case, T'Challa was a Black Panther and his father was king. Why do we have a problem with M'Baku being king and Shuri being Black Panther?
Because
Do you really want to answer to that question, or do
You
you want
real- I was about to say that.
Why you even asking?
Because the real answer to it is probably something to do with outside more than it is story driven narrative.
No, it's not. In the 2018 Black Panther film, M'Baku was an outsider. How was an outsider on the throne?
exactly.
He's still a part of one of the original tribes. What are we talking about?
No, he's not.
But,
my nigga. He was
but
a
here's
part
the
of them
thing. Here's the
niggas.
thing. They said we're gonna go to exile. We don't give a fuck what you think. All right.
Yes,
That's the difference.
They exiled themselves and separated from the Wakanda traditions, bro.
At the end of the
Aren't they
movie, did they
part-
not reconcile?
Aren't they part
After
of
they got their ass
Wakanda's-
beat.
They reconciled, correct?
With no royal blood.
It's just that
king.
the difference between the other part of Wakanda where they at is that where Shuri and T'Challa was at, they was doing technology. They were still taking to the old days.
M'Baku and them niggas went to the mountain, bro.
They
And
went to
freaked
the
the rest of y'all. They were they only.
But it's like
they're only-
Victorville. They still part of Wakanda.
No, they're part of Wakanda. They're in Wakanda.
So
but
why
they're
did
not
he,
a part of their hierarchy shit that they got where they vote for kings and all that? They didn't
don't do that.
So
why
at
did
the
he
end
was
of
king
Black
on his
Panther,
own? He
did
was
they
already
not
king. He was king on his
reconcile
own.
with them to become a part of them?
Yes, I guess he. No, I think the Wakandans ran to him, which is another problem.
No, I'm talking
He
about at
saved
the
the
end of
nigga's life. They
He was
owed
a part
him.
of the council. He was a part of the council.
At the end of Black
In this
Panther, he
movie,
became
yes.
a part of the council. So
Yes,
therefore,
in this movie, yes,
Because of what he did in the first one with
Yes.
T'Challa.
They owed him. They have to give him something.
they don't have to.
Yes, you
Yes, he
you
did.
just saved the
He
nigga's life.
protected-
You owe this man something.
he helped save Wakanda. So
He
yeah.
saved T'Challa. He saved T'Challa's life, bro.
Yes.
You owe him something.
Okay, so
Yes.
by becoming a part, I guess my point is by becoming a part of this council, is he now not a part of the regular thing? And what's the problem with him being king?
Yes, now he is. Yes, in
Now
this
he
movie
is.
He is. Yes.
So what's the problem with him being king?
Here's the
was
problem.
It's in Baku, my nigga, and Shuri got the suit on, my nigga. What are you talking about?
We just said T'Challa's dad was king and T'Challa was Black Panther.
But here's my other problem with that.
Holy
Talking about
freak!
Obama.
Wait,
Hold
hold
up.
on,
Hold up. I got another problem with
Let me help
that.
this
Hold
nigga
His
out.
up.
father was the king.
We're
me help
talking
this nigga
about
out, bro.
what's established in the movies.
Thundercat.
I gotta
I feel you, Thundercat. T'Chaka, passed to T'Challa, passed to Shuri. That's all the same bloodline. Baku ain't that bloodline, bro.
In
Shuri
reality,
got the Black Panther suit.
Yeah.
in reality, you should have gone to his son.
No, his son dead. His son. If everything makes sense like it should be, his son should be the king right now.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
But he's a regent. He won't be. He won't.
bro. The whole
He
subject.
Here's
won't
how it
be
would've
there
worked.
until he's 12.
the reason why
Here-
she gave it to
14.
M'Baku because in the
Get
first
some
movie,
hair on his nuts.
M'Baku challenged T'Challa and he lost. So Shuri did not want to challenge M'Baku, so he got it automatically.
I don't think that's the
Really
reason,
that
dog.
simple.
I think the reason is more outside things. I think Disney
No,
has
he
a
was
problem.
not challenging for the Black Panther. He was challenging for the throne. He said it in the movie.
Yeah, and he's the throne. He's king, and he's
Well,
now
so-
Black Panther.
Yes, he's the king. That's a true statement. Baku is the king of Wakanda, right?
That's
Yo,
And that's
All
the
of
fucking
Wakanda.
we got a whole situation that's
So he
fucked
got-
up.
Hey, Shaweezy, how you feel about this movie, my nigga?
bro. I was so I wanted to. I love the first movie. I came to this one with high hopes. That trailer had me, on cloud nine.
Same.
And I had my doubt about Ryan. We went back and forth on this. I had my doubts about Ryan, and then I felt like the trailer calmed a lot of them, but I still had the doubt back in my mind. And I was so disappointed. Like, I walked into this movie like expecting not just emotion, but I expected them to at least make a good story with what they had. I didn't expect a gourmet meal out of crumbs, but I expected something that was at least, satisfiable and wasn't disrespectful. I left this movie asking why so many times, so many plot devices in here made for no reason.
Yes.
It felt like I think you said it in your review, it felt like they took the plot line that they were going to use with T'Challa and just replaced it with Shuri and then added little moments to remind you that T'Challa died. Because some of this shit didn't make sense to me.
I can agree with that.
all right,
It felt- it felt-
This feels like the first draft, bro. Like they just said, "Freak it, we're gonna keep it."
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I can agree with that. There were certain points in this movie was I was sitting there thinking to myself like, this was supposed to be for T'Challa, and they didn't change it.
Like
yeah, facts. Facts.
they use Ramonda, her death plot device. Her
Oh
like
my goodness.
Shuri, I like Letitia Wright did a great job with what she had,
did, yeah.
but
Yeah.
at the same time, it was so inorganic. It was
Yep.
so unnatural. It was so
Forced.
rushed.
Forced.
It was so
Yeah.
forced. It was like
It was rushed. It was definitely just
it
a rush
wasn't.
job.
They didn't build up to that at all. So Shuri, out of nowhere, said, "I have a Black Panther suit." So she always made a Black Panther suit for herself. No build up to that at all.
I want to toot my own horn real quick, Shabriz, since you tooted yours. You were right. You did have some doubt. I remember. I had doubt in one major element that is proven to be correct. My main problem was, why are we sharing this with the Mexicans?
Yo, that don't
I know that. No. I'm gonna keep the buck.
He can say that though.
I can say that though.
can say that,
I'm
though.
half Hispanic, so I can say this
yeah.
shit. And I'm not trying to be selfish. In my opinion,
It's
I
okay
think
to be
Namor.
selfish, though. It's okay to be
I think
selfish.
Namor and his people and all that shit, he should have had his own movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have gave Namor his own movie. The simple fact that we had to share this movie with a whole nother storyline and God and history
That
and
made the
culture
movie
and
actually a
world
little bit.
took away. It
Yeah.
took away from them focusing on Wakanda.
Yes.
All the resources, everything that we wasn't talking about Wakanda was being talked over there.
Yeah.
And I feel like, why are you trying to make this movie complicated? This is the morning of T'Challa. Why you adding Namor in this shit, bro? Especially if you ain't trying to do Doom War, and we know that's out the freaking window.
Facts.
So I mean, so what?
So in my mind, I'm like, we shouldn't. When you try to appease two audiences, you forget to appease one.
Okay, so question to that, right? Clarifying question to that. What information do we have about Namor's people and his people that surpasses Wakanda? I would argue it's both surface level.
They're stronger. They're stronger than Wakandans.
They're way
I'm
stronger.
asking you, what lore do we get? What do they dive into? That's like, oh my
Nothing.
God, that's so much on them.
I can't go into that, and I'm not going to try to. 'Cause I'm a comic book
Nothing.
dude, but I'm not going to try
There's
that.
no substance to them at
They're
all.
just stronger, and there's a lot more of them. That's
Okay.
They are
I
literally.
didn't
think
get
they
it.
showed
Wait,
that's
so
the
the
But you know
culture.
what?
That's
You
all
know
they
what's so
showed.
dumb about that is that the Wakanda.
I don't mean I'm not trying to offend you, 5-star, but that's just how I feel. I feel.
No, I'm saying,
in fact,
like, I mean,
you
they
should have got
didn't show
your own.
anything
Y'all should have got your own movie,
of
bro. I
Namor-
think
the
Namor
culture.
should have
They
got his
didn't show
own.
anything of Wakanda.
I agree with that.
What?
Then Namor should have
Like, both of them didn't
get-
build up so we can learn. who
Namor
he
should
is
have had his own shit.
by itself.
I would have watched.
Then we put them together.
I would have watched the
or something like
Namor solo film, bro, and then
I would've.
and then that could have been organic. That they could have made that shit actually good.
Yeah.
I feel like this origin that they put within Black Panther is
I feel like it would
ruining
have been the
forever.
same.
But don't you feel like Namor and Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, Black Panther are all kind of
Yeah.
in their own little bubble?
Yes,
like
that's why they all need
Black-
individual movies.
Well, but they all tie in.
They all. So I felt like Namor was a good example. I just don't think that he should have been the villain throughout the whole movie. I think that was a caveat that could have happened, and then give him his own movie. But I don't
first
think that
Black
should have been the
Panther
main
movie.
focus. I would have wanted a true villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the first Black Panther movie was self-contained. It was literally.
I wanted Doctor
war.
Doom, to be honest.
Namor. The
I didn't
Namor
Ain't
that
go
we
Cali,
had.
that's what I wanted
the,
too.
I mean, Namor that we had
Dr.
to,
Doom,
and
who's to say we
the
couldn't have
Namor
the
that we
same
had to, you
complaints?
guys, that we ended up watching. He was not menacing. He was not something that you'd be afraid of. Like,
How was he not
you saw
menacing?
Killmonger.
What?
Well, he's not
You see none
supposed
of
to.
that
He's
shit.
not supposed
What do you
to.
mean, bro? He does not. He's supposed to be the villain. He's supposed to be that.
But
dude
that's the
that you
problem.
don't
They're
wanna
trying to
fuck
make
with.
him the villain, but he's
They're
not supposed to be.
He wasn't
When
menacing.
when he told Ramonda that he would kill, that he would basically destroy Wakanda, nigga, I felt nothing from that.
Well, he was a villain, bro.
I mean,
I felt nothing from that.
They
Wait,
they made him a villain. That's the problem.
I didn't get
You
an
can't
anti-hero.
menacing to you.
You can't murder the queen and be okay with that shit.
You
That's
murdered the
not
queen,
okay.
bro. You
Yeah,
tried to
but-
kill a little girl.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do
And
this.
then
But
like this Shuri said, bury your dead and mourn. You're
I
the
gotta
queen
ask.
now.
I gotta ask a
Fuck.
question. I gotta
If
ask a
you don't
question.
do it, I'll be back next. I'll be back.
You tried to
don't
kill
do
an
what I say, I'll
innocent
be back.
teenage girl, bro.
Are you
That's
serious?
not.
I got a
That
question.
was a-
I got a question.
That was a good. That was a good point that Tyler brought up in his review. He was like, you know what? Why didn't Namor just wreck the queen, kill the queen, and said, "All right, I'll be back in a few weeks." So you guys
I had a
can
problem with
work it
that.
out."
Yeah, no, I
Like,
had a
go
problem.
ahead and build up a defense and a counterattack.
I'll be back in a week's time.
I'll be back in a week so you guys can plan
Because
to
he wants
destroy me.
Wakanda's
All right,
help.
peace?
Yeah, he wants
Because he wants Wakanda's help. The whole
No,
goal
it's
is to get
stupid.
Wakanda's
That's
help.
dumb, bro.
Well, not
It's
no.
bad,
He
bro.
don't want the help. He wants to make an alliance. different.
Hey,
Put
my
it
I
nigga,
that
I'm
felt
way.
like
watching
he
Hunter
was
x
in
Hunter, my nigga.
love.
Well,
I'm
you
watching
just-
Hunter
well,
x
you
Hunter, my
just said the
nigga.
same
That
exact
king is
thing.
over there at the palace in Hunter x Hunter. Talking about like give you guys 10 days. He about to get wrecked, bro. He gonna die. Cell tried that same game with the Cell games. He said, I'm gonna wreck you niggas, but I'm gonna chill. That nigga died. Vegeta said,
Go
go
on,
ahead and eat up that
Twisted.
android, my nigga. Eat that android and fight me. He got wrecked.
You
That
get
shit
niggas
don't
how you
work, bro. That shit ain't
regroup.
good, bro.
Problem is the problem that you don't like it, or does it doesn't make sense?
It didn't make
Doesn't
sense.
make sense.
Bro.
It doesn't make
Okay,
sense.
so
How
How
does
does
that
that
make
make
sense?
sense?
Doesn't make sense.
you can't
Technically, it doesn't make sense for you to give your opponent
when you say
a couple days
things
to
don't
prepare.
make when
So
you
he should have destroyed Wakanda.
Yes, finish it.
when
Yeah,
you
if
You
he
say
know, the
wanted
whole
to
things
and
thing,
don't
then
he
you
make
sunk
sell
sense.
them.
underwater.
Well,
Now they got to rebuild and
Now
all
you
that
rule
kind of
them. You
stuff.
rule them. You
yeah,
take out all the soldiers. You rule
bro,
them.
just
You rule.
subject them to your rule then and there. Don't
But
say I'll
that's
give
the
you
part that's
time
dumb to
to.
me. All the technology that Wakanda has, all this stuff that they supposedly have, they should not be getting wrecked by some damn fish people underwater, bro.
Understand
Are you
this.
serious?
Listen.
All the
They,
technology
but
that they
E-Man,
have,
they
bro, they could be
explained
able to
that they
shut
have the
that shit
same
down.
tech. They
You don't know
explained that they
what
had the
tech
same
they
tech.
have under the
Well, they
water.
said they
They
never
never
And not
explained
only
violated.
that,
what
but
tech they had
they're
underwater. All they
automatic.
said it was
Water
those
bombs.
bombs. And where they get those bombs from? How do they create those
Yo,
Based
bombs?
off their
They had the
technology, money, that shit
vibranium.
lacking.
They had
Yeah, that shit
vibranium,
was
E-Man.
lacking.
That's what they said in the
Huh?
movie.
That's come on. Why?
Son, what does
Why
that
do
mean?
they got vibranium in the first place, bro?
Because
Come
it's
on,
under the
man.
Hey,
sea.
It's under the sea.
because the Wakandas are too stupid to know that there's other vibranium out there.
How come
Alright.
Yo,
Wakanda
you
didn't
gotta be.
find out that the
I
U.S.
refuse to.
had
No,
freaking
I
vibranium
refuse
in
to
the
believe that.
underwater, bro? Like,
All right, go ahead, Shweezy.
that's
I
dope.
refuse to believe that in the entire history of Wakanda, how many thousand years they've never
My
pondered or
nigga.
just thought there's vibranium somewhere else in the world. It didn't just
My
land in
nigga.
Wakanda.
I mean,
Not
people,
even that.
I mean, even
They
today
have the
still think there's
technology
no
to
aliens,
find other
dog.
vibranium wherever
they
it's
have.
at.
They have like I don't get. They knew about
This is
capsule.
why I keep saying like Disney needs to stop making these movies, bro.
I refuse to
But that's what
believe
happens in these
that.
movies. Yeah, the underlying problem, you're on to something,
flexible,
Shabuizi and Lottie. These movies are made for, they're not made for like, hey, my nigga, DC rises, my nigga. Hey, bro, before we get white, Marvel is about to get
Black
hoed
Adam
next
just
year,
came
my
out.
nigga.
Black Adam
Marvel
just
is
came
about
out.
to
DC's
get
not right.
hoed next year. Black Adam's better than this movie.
It's way better. Way better.
Hey,
Let me
Black
ask you a
Adam's killing
question.
this movie.
I have a question for Shabuzi.
Who would have thought
Black
that?
Adam is a better movie than this movie. Yo,
Yes.
y'all
By far.
crazy, bro.
By
Bro,
far.
the
Hey,
only
Black Adam
redeeming
is
quality
good.
from
I'm
Black
buying Black
Adam
Adam
is
Black
on
that
Adam is
Blu-ray,
a
my
actually,
nigga.
mashup of action figures, bro. This
I'll take that over this shit.
the only
I'll
redeeming
take that
quality
This
over.
movie
from
got
Black
no.
Adam
This
is the
movie has
action,
no
bro.
rewatchability. I can't wait to get that Black Adam on 4K HDR.
All right, so
I will not be buying Wakanda Forever, but my nigga.
No.
Me and a lot of other people will not be buying Wakanda Forever on 4K. Jeff, are you? For sure.
I will not.
My nigga,
I don't believe in 4K.
There's no need to, my nigga. I want to see a lot of that superhero shit flying. I want to see freaking Black Adam and Hawkman fight again, my nigga.
So does that make
I
it a
can't wait to
better
see those
movie?
fights again.
Does that make it a better movie, or is it just eye candy?
Yes. Yes,
It's a better movie. It's a better movie because it's concise.
It's better. It's better.
I mean,
It's
it's
a
just
better
so
movie.
distasteful, bro. That MCU Marvel Studios intro, the mashup of Chadwick's face and all his appearances,
That
was
was
a
nice.
better
Yeah,
tribute
that
than
was dope.
anything they did in
That
that
was
entire movie.
why?
Yes.
Holy fuck. Oh, he's right. Oh, the moment of
100%.
silence. The
Yo,
moment of silence.
honestly,
Oh, fuck. He's right.
Everybody in my
The-
theater was silent for it. It was beautiful. That was better than
Yeah.
everything they tributed to Chadwick in the entire
Facts.
movie. That's
Facts.
insane.
Facts.
Should have recast.
And they got rid of Chadwick so quick. They did the funeral in 2 minutes and he
It's
was
like,
gone.
let's get this out the way. Get over
They
it.
can at least use the body
Is
shot.
that, is
Look,
that,
man,
is
they
that their
cried.
fault though, or did they really just not have footage they could use? I mean,
No,
There's a
you
lot
can
of
use a
stuff they
body
got.
shot.
They
It's
said
not
they
that
wasn't
hard.
I don't know. It's weird, bro.
I feel like they cried more when Ricky died in Boys in the Hood with the mom
Facts.
in the street. Like
Facts.
they just skipped to a year later. I don't mind. Angela Bassett is a talented actress. Y'all seen that speech?
That's
You think
facts.
she can't cry on cue?
And then that speech was given to Wakandans, man, instead of the whole world
It made
at
it-
the UN.
yeah, it made it look
I
like
thought
that,
she
yeah,
told
the
the
trailer.
world what's up, my nigga. She was talking to 9 people in the room.
No, but
and how you gonna take? How you gonna strip Oka? How you gonna blame Oka yet for freaking Shuri getting kidnapped?
Wow.
And you gonna
After
take
That
her
was
life?
bad.
her life.
That
Get
was
the
really
freak outta
bad.
here with that shit, bro. How you gonna take her shit away? Queen Michael. Oh man, Okoye was the best of the movie.
She
Facts.
died
Yes.
wrong.
Facts.
Angela Bassett was wrong, and then she died. And it never made
They
amends.
hey,
and never made amends with Okoye.
They ruined, and we don't even talk about that. They ruined Ramonda
But-
before they killed her.
I mean, I like
By her being wrong
Ramonda
and
would
dumb.
never, dumb. The mama would never do that shit, bro.
No.
Ramonda wouldn't act that way from Black Panther 1. What? You threatening this film? We gotta get the armies ready. Let's go. Let's get it
Facts.
popping.
They would have been prepared.
Yes. In fact, in Black Panther 1, when Killmonger took over, they escaped to Jobu, took a heart-shaped herb, was about to get that nigga the shit. Yeah. What we talking about, bro? she get action done, bro. She never would have took that from Okoye.
I felt like all the memorable lines was takeoffs, rehash lines from the first one. Instead of hi auntie, it was hi cousin. I'm not gonna get the same reaction that you got in the real. Some of that stuff to me was just the same ships. We didn't get new technology from Wakanda's. The new technology we got. The new technology we got was the balls from McDonald's painted white in the middle of the air. I'm like, come on, bruh. I want to see some new spaceships, and I want to see that underwater thing.
They did not display the technology right for Wakanda. It was more
Iron Man, bro.
I felt like they were more excited, and I love seeing the Latin culture, but I think they did a lot of that research, and they were more excited about bringing that aspect to it than actually giving Wakandan technology. Even that underwater spaceship thing.
I'll finish it. You almost went there. Let me finish it there. They did Namor to get motherfuckers like 5-star and a lot of Hispanics in the theater, bro.
In the theater.
Look, we're representing you guys. Come buy a ticket.
I thought the blacks and Latinos was gonna make up, become friends, and then go against the United States.
They pander to the Latinos
and they pander
to the blacks, bro.
Like, look how powerful we are together.
There's Latinos that are mad about this.
Hold on. It's the kind of message that I thought Ryan Coogler would deliver. You know, having made Fruitvale Station, I thought it would be like, all right, look how powerful we are together. Let's go and fight against, the plastic makers, big corporations, something. But they didn't want to put that message out there. That would have been the most powerful message for them to kind of team up.
They had a unity scene with Shuri and them. How I felt, even though it wasn't organic, I felt good seeing Shuri and Namor on that ship like that and telling the people to stop fighting. I thought that was cool because it looked like what we need to see, blacks and browns uniting. But even though the message is something I could agree with, if you don't organically get there, it's lost.
Yeah, I get that.
You gotta organically build to that shit, bro.
I did feel he was in love with Shuri.
Yeah, I thought
they had a thing.
Honestly, I think that was part of the movie. Him being kind of in love with Shuri. That was part of the movie from. If we had a T'Challa, I think that same shit would have happened, but they really would have fell in love. But because T'Challa didn't exist, they couldn't.
Bro, this movie just had that moment at the end of that film when Ramonda popped up like Zordon.
Yeah, that shit was.
That was a good one, Shabizi, on the real.
That was a straight Mufasa in the
clouds,
You didn't think it was her remembering? I thought that was her remembering.
They took that from Lion King, nigga.
You saw the astral plane.
She said, show them who you are.
That's funny as
who
fuck,
you
man.
are. Mufasa said that almost the same line. Yeah. They took that from Lion King, nigga.
They did.
I thought she was remembering her.
Remembering she had purple around her, bro. She was in the soul ancestral plane.
Yeah.
She called on that.
Talking to her daughter on a whim. You didn't need sheet, a prayer,
she had
a
that
burial.
Spear. All she had to do was just go like this.
Come on, nigga. That shit was.
And that whole fight scene was ass. Psycho cat.
Yeah, it was ass. Yo, before we get out of here, Jody, what did you feel? How did you feel about the son?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Seeing the little boy, him having a child, and it made sense why he wasn't there.
That's
for
just
6
trash,
years.
man.
T'Challa put it to the side. Oh, you didn't like a 5-star? I liked it, bro.
You didn't like that scene?
This is my problem with it. This is my problem with it. It goes against what T'Challa was doing in the first one too, where he was mad about his dad leaving Killmonger by himself without a dad.
That's true.
Wasn't the whole
same shit?
But 5-star, understand it's only like that because of the real life circumstances of him being dead.
No, I don't think it's like that because of the real life circumstances.
He could have grown up in Wakanda.
Could he have?
Wasn't the point of this?
He could have grew up. Yeah, you know what, my nigga, you right, 5-star.
I was gonna say that.
It was a good shock value at the end. And I guess that alludes to the fact they didn't want no freaking good men in this movie, even little boys. Because how dope would it have been
with that, bro?
How dope would it?
No, we gotta mention it. We got to.
How dope would that have been if little T'Challa was being raised under Shuri and under Grandma Ramonda? That would have been kind of nice, and how they were focused on protecting. You know what? You're right, bro. It could have been. I liked it, but
beautiful.
You're right. It could have been done
Very
better
true.
if he was like
gay representation.
Organically.
woven into the movie. Yeah.
Wasn't
Is
the point
any
of it though? Was
Oh,
the
no, I
reason?
like
It correct me if I'm wrong, because I was kind of confused by it myself, even after watching it the second time. Was the boy 6 because T'Challa disappeared for those 5
6
years
years
during
went
the
by.
snap?
No,
Or
6 years went by.
Yeah, T'Challa.
Since,
5 years. Yeah, you.
I thought it had
Yeah.
something to do with the snap
Yeah, it
because
was-
T'Challa
Right.
was gone
I
for
thought he
5
got
years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
pregnant.
from the snap. I don't
6
think
years
it's
after
the snap.
Infinity War, I guess.
Yeah, a
So,
year
because-
plus the snap.
Yeah.
So a year
One
plus
of
the
the-
snap.
one of-
Okay, got you.
one of Thanos' hoes gave him that disease, man. He caught a
And look at that, bro. That's how he died. He had a disease that he was too arrogant to ask for help for.
Yeah, bro.
That's what you give us.
I know they're trying
The
to
same
reflect on
death.
life, but like, yeah.
Was anybody that's
Why?
pro the movie?
I thought
any,
honestly, I thought that was disrespectful. Him saying that he was afraid to ask for help, kind of
What is
made it
that?
close to real life for me because we know in real life he kept his disease a secret. And by saying that in the movie, I thought that was a little lowbrow in
did
my
he keep
opinion.
That
it
was
a
like a
secret
low
from
blow.
us?
Yeah,
Or
he
did he
did.
keep it a
Yeah,
secret
kinda
from
was.
his doctor? I
No,
thought he knew.
he kept it
It
a
was a
secret from us. He kept it a secret from us. His wife
Right.
knew about it. He knew about it. Obviously,
And his
doctor
doctor
His
knew
family knew about it,
yeah.
but the main people from the company Marvel and
World
Disney,
didn't
they didn't
know.
know.
They
Nobody
was
knew
yeah,
about
tripping
it.
off
the
how
world
skinny he
didn't
looked.
know. So for him,
We
to
knew
them
something
to-
was up though.
but
I mean,
for
why-
them,
that's-
Getting
World-
smaller.
Why you do that? Why you do it so much like how he really went out in real life? You
Yeah,
think that's
that's-
homage?
yeah,
That's
that-
detrimental.
that was
Or
disrespectful.
y'all
It would
had
have been
rather
better.
seen
It would have been better that
die in combat,
T'Challa
though?
died
Should
in
have
a.
recasted.
It'd have been better if
Plane
he
crash
died in
or
a
something?
war
This
in
nigga
a
Ryan,
fight.
I want
in
to
a
slap
fight or some
Ryan,
shit
my
or
nigga. I
something
want
like
to
that, you know
catch a
what I mean?
fade with this nigga.
No,
bro.
that was that
How
was
you gonna say
very
you go to the
disrespectful.
family and you got the family's blessing, my nigga?
Look,
You
look,
know
I'm
we
not
didn't see
gonna
this
come for
movie.
Ryan. I'm gonna come for damn Disney. They be putting these shit so
Nah,
damn
man, Ryan a
forward.
puppet, my nigga. And Feige, you're trash, bro. Freak Feige, bro. Hey, bro.
Yeah, no, that
Hey,
was
man, my nigga,
Damn,
I gotta
Cody.
tell you, after this, bro, after this, it's like freak Marvel right now, bro. Unless
Wow.
I stopped
unless the shit is
watching.
good,
I stopped watching
man.
a lot of
That
shit. like-
Quantumania, that Phase 5 look garbage. Hey, my nigga, DC's about to run.
I
I'm
told
still
you.
a
I told you the
Ryan
other
fan,
day.
man.
Phase
I'm-
five was
man,
garbage.
Hey,
I'm
Jody,
still a Ryan Coogler
You can't
fan.
take the greatest hero of all time, the greatest beacon for black people, my nigga, in pop culture, and then just do this to him.
Hey,
Should they
Jody,
have recasted him?
question.
Like it's.
Yeah,
I was
yes,
already.
No,
They should have
Yes.
recasted him.
I'm already
No!
like,
Listen,
Recast a long time.
everybody that loved the movie, are you okay with her catching a spear through the stomach and then doing a front flip?
No.
And
Was
a
that-
Wakanda Forever on a ship that's already blown up, blew
Bro.
up.
Yeah.
Was
It was
that
already a blown up ship, and she said Wakanda Forever.
and blew it up again?
Ah!
Well, so to answer your question,
Was that
Sad,
okay?
no, I mean I
'Cause I
had an
had a
issue.
problem with it.
I had a problem with that shit too, bro.
Right, yeah, no, I
That
had a
shit was
problem with it.
asinine.
Me personally, I thought the entire, like I said, there was only one good fight scene, one good action scene in this movie. But it's still a B plus for me. I mean, I had a problem with it, but like,
No, it's not, nigga. Lower that grade. After
nah,
hearing you
still-
today, you
nah,
ain't got
still-
nothing
it's
for
still,
this.
it's still, it's still
After
B
hearing your
plus for
arguments
me.
today, man, lower that grade, man. Come
it's-
on, bro. You got more sense than that.
I gave it a
Thundercat.
B too,
Nah,
Thundercat.
it's a
a lot
B
of-
plus- it's
I
a B
get-
plus.
You gave it
Jody.
a B minus. He gave it a
I
B
get-
plus, man.
I gave it a B minus.
So I mean, and a B minus isn't a bad grade. That means you're
You
four
gave it a
two,
B
right?
plus though. You
No,
gave it a B plus.
Lottie gave it a B minus. But no, I still give it a B plus. I mean, the acting,
Come on.
what they were giving, the acting was phenomenal in this film.
Yeah, it was good.
It's a cohesive film. It's enough of a cohesive. Like a B plus isn't
It's
something
enough.
amazing.
It's mid. It's mediocre. It's Ant-Man. It's
B
this
plus.
movie is like Ant-Man, bro.
Is B plus not mediocre?
B
No!
no.
That's above
Mediocre
average.
C.
that's a great.
Nigga,
that's, a
B
really
plus
movie.
is very good.
B plus is really excellent. That's really good.
Very
Bro,
good.
A is
when I
excellent.
say, when I
Very
say,
good.
when I say B's, I mean when I give movies B's. That I mean I only give the movies I really like A's. So when
I'm
I'm
gonna send
looking
my
at
kids
mine,
to your classroom.
Oh, so
Okay, hold on. I want to know something.
Oh, it's pretty in here.
I want to know something. What do you give Guardians of the Galaxy so I can figure out where your scale is?
the first Guardians of the Galaxy,
Donated,
Yes,
man.
yes.
the first Guardians of the Galaxy is a D. The first Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy
Naruto
is trash.
tonight,
All right.
Keon,
The
for
second,
sure.
the second Guardians of the Galaxy is really good. The first Guardians of the Galaxy was trash.
Hold on, my nigga. Your grading scale is garbage. Now
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, I don't know
All
where
right,
it's
so you
going.
said,
First
so
Guardians
you
is pretty
said
good,
mediocre
honestly.
movies. You give mediocre movies a B?
I didn't. Well, mediocre. Yeah, I'll give a mediocre movie is a B. Yes. This
right,
movie
hold
is
on.
above average.
Hey, so hold on. Let me ask this question. Hey, young Thundercat,
Yeah.
is Wakanda Forever mediocre?
No, it's a B plus. Mediocre's a B.
Tight.
Mediocre's a B.
No, you can't call mediocre a
No,
B.
unless you're
Wait,
going like
wait,
S tier or
wait.
some shit.
Mediocre's a B.
Wait.
Mediocre plus.
Are you going
Mediocre
S
is a
tier?
B. Wait, a B is mediocre, but a B plus is not. What's
Correct.
a B plus for you? What give me some words.
Above
Excellent,
average.
great.
I mean,
Above average.
how you explained it to me, Jody, was perfect. It tries to reach your bar, but it doesn't reach it.
Above average is like a
B
B.
plus. A B plus is superior. Like if you
A
use
B
like
plus
the words
isn't
that you get in
superior
grades
when
in school,
A
B
and
is
A minus-
superior.
Dog, I grew up with an African dad. A B was mediocre, dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he was
understand
strict.
that.
Oh, you
Yeah.
African
Now I
too.
get it. Now I get it. I'm like, God
African
damn.
too.
If I got a B in
Shit.
school, that was an ass whooping,
So he
bro.
part Wakanda.
He said if I got to be in school, that was an ass whooping.
okay.
That's a good grade, bro. You
All
gotta
right.
say
Yeah,
A.
Africans hold a higher standard.
They do. Okay. Hey,
I was like,
on
wow, I was
the
like trying to
Hey,
figure
real
this shit out.
quick,
I'm like, what's wrong with your
hey, let's keep it a buck. We about to get out of here, but I gotta keep it controversial, my nigga. I'm gonna say this, my nigga, because I'm Jody Joe, but not other YouTube channels won't, my nigga. Hey, what's up with that gay African kiss at the end, my nigga? Don't they know that's insulting to the African culture?
That was a problem for me too.
They're
So
getting the comments on.
Oh, that shit.
I've read
One thing I learned
somewhere-
about the Africans, they don't do that gay shit.
Well, so I've read somewhere that
Why
she's
are
gay in
you
the
gay?
comics.
The under characters getting the comments
Why
though.
are you gay?
Not even that though. Whether she on
You are gay.
So I read somewhere that she was gay in the comics, and I was kind of
whether
okay
she
with
on
it. To
whether
be
she
honest.
on Bucky the whole
Yeah, I'm
time.
pretty
Hold
sure
on, real
they're getting
talk.
the
The
comments.
Thundercat, you're African, is that right?
Yeah.
Can you help me out? Do the African culture, generally speaking, they look down on homosexuality?
Dog, I have I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a gay best friend. He was never allowed at my house, bro. Never. Like my dad didn't even like me saying man's name, and I'm keeping it.
But you still love them.
I
That's
mean-
good.
Yeah, I
Thundercat.
mean,
See that, ladies and
my
gentlemen.
guy.
guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an African-born person here, young Thundercat. He said he couldn't even invite his best friend over to his house because he was gay.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's
It's
awful.
No,
it's not
it's
good.
called
That's terrible.
tolerance
Okay,
level.
That's terrible.
So-
But
wait,
it's
wait,
good
wait.
for my
Hold-
point. It's good for my point.
Are we going to
Meaning
accept homophobia because it's
No,
not?
it's terrible. I mean,
That's not the case. That's not what
we're
it
saying.
is.
That's not what we're saying at all. As a
Okay.
grown
I'm
man,
taking myself out of it, bro.
Okay.
Like,
No, as a grown man, I still have argument. I mean, because I'm grown now. I mean, my dad, he's still my dad, but we still have arguments to this day about. Because I have a best friend who's gay, and he's been my best friend since I was a little ass kid, and
What
like,
does this
and
have
I'm
to do
glad
with
that
the
you're still
movie?
friends with him,
Good
bro.
for you, man. That's dope.
yeah,
good,
I mean,
bro.
so I mean, I still have arguments to my dad with this day about that type of shit. It's just like the only reason I didn't have a problem with it in the movie is because I
It's 'cause
read
it's
she
us.
was
It's
gay
us.
in the comic book. And if she's gay in the comic book, it's comic book accurate. I get it.
Wait, and if she wasn't
but
gay, wait,
plus
hold
we're
on,
also
if she
westernized.
wasn't
We're
gay,
okay with it.
Is she
if
gay
she
in the
wasn't
comic
gay in the
book?
comics, would you still have a
Yes.
problem or no?
No,
characters are
I
gay in
wouldn't
the
have a problem.
Okay, so it's okay. So why, Jody? Elaborate why you bring up this point. I'm kind of confused.
What do you mean?
Why'd you bring up
Zach,
the point of the gay kids being disrespectful to African culture?
because Africans don't like that shit they put
Well,
in the
I don't-
African movie.
I don't
Wakandans
think
aren't
that's-
real people. You know that, right?
I'm sorry.
Wakandans
Nigga, though,
aren't real-
regardless, they are still part of the African religion in that universe.
What?
I don't think that's.
But the
What are you
characters are
talking
gay in the
about?
comics.
Oh, I
so
forgot
again, why
Shabriz
should
is
I mess
African.
you?
Swag is African too. Oh
Yeah.
shoot.
I
my
don't think
brothers.
that's African culture. I just think that's third world country culture. I don't think that's.
Okay.
I don't think that's indigenous to African people. I think all
I
third
don't
world
think it.
country
Yeah, I
people
think you're
All
right
right.
in that. I think you're right.
have
We'll do that.
issues with homosexuality.
I know, but what was
Okay,
the
we'll do
point
that
though,
too.
Jody?
But I
Elaborate, my nigga. You
had a
said
lot
you
of coworkers and shit
controversial.
that I had a lot of coworkers I grew up with security, my nigga. And they told me how they feel about that shit.
Bro, you said
I
you don't
used,
get
I used to say
controversial.
things that were suspect. Do not do that to me.
Jody, what's the controversy?
In my country,
Jody harassing people at the job.
I learned from a young age.
I will chop off your hand.
You will die.
Sus me, and I will chop off your hand.
You do that in my country, you will be stoned, burned. We
I
kill
think
you for that.
minorities in general.
like,
are the most,
I'm not gonna touch you no more, bro.
Yeah, minorities in general. Absolutely.
Well, you know, I've seen it a lot growing up too. Like I've had instances in where I've known people who I've wanted to sleep over my house, but I'm like, you have to hide the fact that you're not straight because my parents won't allow you in this household. I've seen it in my life. I've had conversations with my dad. I've had disagreements with my family.
Yep.
But at the same time, I also feel like I've also talked to other cultures, and I feel like it's just a product of old times,
Yeah.
which is a lot of third world countries.
I'm really wondering, Jody. I'm kind of wondering why you brought this point up because I always thought that Wakandans and Black Panther was supposed to show like the best of us, right? The best of Black people, right? Acceptance, what Black people can accomplish. So them being gay and it being accepted should be a good thing. I never really thought, oh, it needs to be.
It's Africa. Hey, think about how the Africans would feel, bro. That's all I'm saying.
But
Right,
okay,
there
what's
you
the
go.
controversy take, my nigga? Why are you trying to back off now, though? What's the controversy?
I'm not backing off. The one thing I'm not gonna do is back off. Nigga. What are you saying?
You said
Say
you were
what you're
gonna
saying.
get controversial. What's the
I'm
controversy?
gonna do something.
It
like,
is controversial, my nigga. Africans don't go. Africans do not support homosexuality, my nigga. And in Wakanda,
What does
there are
that mean
Africans
to
in
you?
Africa.
I want to hear your opinion. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it just shows the amount of disrespect that they have for the African culture.
Wait.
Nah, that's
Are you
wild.
saying? Wait.
If that's the case,
Are
they
you
would have had
saying
it in
them
the first
showing
one.
up?
They
Wait.
never did that.
Nah, that's wild,
Sure, they're
Jody. That's
gay
wild.
Hold on.
Africans.
Can't hear you. What's that?
Let Jody and Five and Swag.
Okay, are you saying them showing a gay kiss bad? Are you saying it's inherently bad? It's bad for you? Like you don't like that they did that?
Okay, thanks for trying to cancel me.
My nigga,
No,
I'm just asking.
I think it's okay. I
Good
sit up
response,
here.
Jody. Good response.
As I said, he's
sit up
backing
here
off.
and I grab
He's
grab
backing
male
off.
cock on my show,
Backing off
and
now.
I grab male booty on my show,
Good
and
job,
I watch
back off.
trans porn, my nigga. So no,
Whoa,
I'm not homosexual, homophobic.
No. I know you're not homophobic.
All right, so why would you ask me a dumb question like that? You know the
The
answer to
reason
it.
I'm
In fact,
asking-
if you was here, my nigga, and I was drunk, my nigga, looking like Shuri like you do, I might try one, my nigga. And when I meet you, my nigga, I'm gonna grab your cheeks, my nigga. And I want you to do that shit, bro. I'm gonna suss you when I see you, my nigga. What you talking about?
It was just a pointless thing to fucking put in there. That's what it was. Just fucking pointless.
Why was it pointless?
Because they really didn't need to be in there, honestly.
You know what? For me, it's the equivalent. Like a lot of them, I guess I can't say the religion and shit, but the culture.
Wait.
It's
Why is
pointless.
it?
Like I say this.
See,
Can I ask if they showed a kiss?
With spears and all that kind of tech and whatnot, having fairy gays, like, do you know what I mean, they'll just be men who like men. Do you know what I mean? So there's no need to put that in.
Trixie, if they showed a kiss between, like, let's say Shuri and Namor, or like a straight couple, would it be pointless as well?
No, it adds to the
because that
main.
adds to the story. That adds to the story.
They're the main characters.
That kiss at the end of the movie didn't add to the story, and that, like, for me personally, and this is
It was
even
useless.
for me. If you're gonna add,
Can we at least admit that Marvel did that to say, look at us, we love gay?
Okay.
Yes,
That was an
yes,
agenda
yes.
scene.
Jody, I agree
That
with
was
you.
a check the box scene.
I agree with
that. Was useless in the movie.
I agree
As I
with
said
you.
before,
That
they have
obviously
never
the
done.
case.
They
But
never
my-
did
my
it in the
point
first
is-
Black Panther. So why do it in the second one? They
Okay.
didn't do it in the first one. We never saw no type of scenes like that with none of the Wakandans whatsoever.
I mean,
But this
let's keep it a
one, we
buck. You
finally
are kind of
seen-
homophobic.
Hey, let's do that.
Nah, I
right
won't
now.
say that. I'll say that confidently.
you worse than my dad,
Yeah,
dog.
you
say
probably-
it.
you
You're
homophobic.
homophobic, my nigga. Yeah, you being a homophobe, you really can't talk about this
Yeah,
topic,
bro.
bro.
But listen. Here's my problem.
Bring your ass back up in here, bro.
Whenever we talk about these gay scenes,
You can't talk about the gay part.
whenever we talk about these gay scenes, I always compare it to like straight scenes that are like equivalent, right? So if I was to ask you, in Captain America: Civil War, when Captain America kissed that what was her name, Carter? What was
Peggy.
Peggy? When she kissed, was that adding to the story, or was that out of nowhere?
They're the main characters. That's the
add
love
it to the
interest,
story.
That was
dog.
the love interest.
So
That was the love interest.
No,
so
no.
yes.
The argument was it didn't add to the story, right? And that didn't add to the story either.
Yeah, that shit don't add nothing.
So what?
Peggy-
Wait, hold
You
up,
said
pause.
Civil
Time
War?
out.
Wait, what you talking-
Time out.
Oh no.
What are we
That
saying?
wasn't that wasn't Mark. No, her. Not her.
Agent Carter.
Yeah, Agent Carter.
The niece or the
Yeah, the
redhead?
niece.
That's what I'm trying to ask.
The
Nah,
niece.
the niece. Nah.
Okay, so why is that not okay? Is that also a problem because it didn't add to the story?
Do Americans not like gay? Do Americans not like heterosexual kisses
That's
in
not
movies?
that's
Then
not
yes.
okay. So you're going to a cultural consensus, right? That's
Yes.
All
That's
right,
what I'm doing.
so
That's why I said it.
since we're going off of that, so are you abiding by the culture like
Swag.
Yeah.
It's for me the way I see it. It's kind of like if I told Sad like in the Ms. Marvel, the little girl, the little Indian Muslim girl.
Watch that shit.
Would you show a scene of her eating a pig? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like it's like her being her as a Muslim character eating bacon and eating pork all the time. Like she's infatuated with pork.
I understand what
you
you're saying.
Don't do that.
I just feel like the problem is nowadays we're kind of in this phase in society where we're just like anti SJWs, and I feel like we're shooting a lot of like stray bullets that to things that don't deserve.
That's not a stray bullet. That was an agenda scene, and you know it.
Here's what I kinda
That's
would
not
say
a stray
about that.
bullet, Swag. That's an agenda scene to check a box, and they did it very subtly at the end of the movie, real quick,
This
like
is
yeah,
all
just like they did
about
Star Wars.
Do
diversity.
we not?
Yes.
If inclusion is what people want, because would you not say you want black inclusion?
Man, not if it's like
No, and
not if
this
it's
is
Not
fake,
if it's
not if it's
forced.
fake,
Exactly
not
right.
if it's
And
fake.
I would argue.
Nah,
How's it
I
forced
rather
if it?
I
would-
rather real inclusion where you actually care. I get the feeling like Disney don't really give a shit about inclusion like that. They want to
Hell
look
no,
like
they want
care.
money, bro. It's all
I
about
would
lining up the
argue-
pockets.
I would
Disney
argue.
want to look.
I would
Disney
argue-
historically is a very anti-inclusion company, my nigga. So
Yes.
I really feel like they're just putting up a front to look like they care,
Bro, none of
and
these.
they're
If that's
getting
the case, none of
rewarded
these.
for it.
Bro, you think they care about black people in Black Panther? You think they actually care
No,
about black
they
people?
don't.
So
No.
does that take away from Black Panther one being a great movie?
No,
Duncan,
yeah, it does a little bit,
Well,
It hurts a
actually,
little bit. It
Because
hurts
they
a
don't
little bit.
Maybe.
care about black people. It takes
actually,
away.
Black
hurts a little
Panther
bit.
suffered because Disney took its budget away because it didn't believe it.
That's
So,
budget.
yeah.
Facts,
They're
facts,
not.
you
We're
go.
not
facts,
talking
facts,
about
facts.
that, Shabuzi. We're talking about representation and seeing gay people. See, this is my problem with this
No,
argument.
but here's
Yeah, I don't know
thing,
what's your
though,
problem,
Swag.
Swag. You're so sensitive right now,
Here-
bro. What's
here's
wrong
the
with
thing,
you?
I'm
though,
not sensitive.
Swag. Like,
You're very
problem with-
sensitive to this issue. It's not even deep, bro. It's just
No.
easy notice.
I think my problem is not the argument. My problem is this, right? I think people need to just admit that they're jaded and just keep it a buck because these
We're all
arguments.
jaded. We're all jaded.
Exactly.
We're
Everybody on this
humans.
planet-
We are naturally jaded.
Everybody on this planet that's an adult is jaded. The only ones who are not jaded are children.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. You could admit that you're jaded, but that shouldn't be externalized. Keep that shit internal, my nigga, right? And if you're trying to
No. I mean, like,
No.
look. Like, that's like
No.
saying if you have
That's
hate
not
for
how the world
somebody.
works, boss.
that's not
Yeah,
how
thank
the
you.
Thank
if
you.
you're
Who
right.
said
That's
that?
not
Who
how the
said
world
that?
works. That's why
That's
cops
not
kill
how the
black
world
people.
works,
You're right.
bro.
That's why cops kill black people. That's why people are unable to be happy with each other and treat each other right. That's why we
So
do
you're
this.
tying the fact that we noticed the out of the ordinary forceful gay kiss to why cops kill black people.
When I state the reasons, okay, when I state the reasons why they're forceful, right? And then we go back to the Captain America and Peggy. We're so, but that's a general consensus. We're okay with that. So it has nothing to do with being forceful. It has to do with what's accepted in society, right?
No, for
Correct.
me,
Well, here's the
for
difference. Here's the
me,
difference.
for me, the problem is that when we do gay representation, when we do black representation, when we do Latino represent whatever, right?
Any type of it.
When we want to show a culture of a people, the best way to get that culture across and make people understand it is by making it organic.
Thank you.
Throwing in a kiss at the end of the movie between two women that's just a brief flash that
Yes.
doesn't add anything to the film is
Yes.
a problem for me.
Yes.
Just like that kiss, for me personally, just like the Peggy Carter kiss was a problem for me because it
Bro,
doesn't
let's
add
keep it.
anything to the movie.
Hey, bro, let's keep it a buck. You think this nigga really has a
But
problem?
even
with
then,
Cap
but
and
hold up.
Peggy?
Even then, hold
Bro,
up. I would
bro,
argue that.
Jody,
I would
hold
argue
up.
that.
Hey, don't ask me that.
My
Hey,
nigga.
so I'm gonna say this.
You
to what
think
he's
niggas
saying,
have
though.
a problem with
Swag.
Cap and Peggy kissing? Let's really keep.
I don't know.
But
I
hold
can't
on,
talk for nobody else.
I
Swag,
gotta
but I can
think
say
with
this
that
though. Hold on. Let me say something. To what Thundercat kind of alluded to, what you don't realize, Swag, is I know what Disney's doing. This movie, they shot it at the end, out of context, to show the Americans. As soon as China says, "Get that shit out. We're not gonna run your theater," they're gonna delete that shit so they can put it to China, my nigga.
They
I
did
know
that with the
why
Star
Disney's
Wars.
doing it. Disney don't care. Disney didn't have the balls to what I would have done. Just make them both gay in the whole movie and have them protecting each other in love.
Well, that's
Make
my
them
point,
gay,
though.
gay.
If you were gonna-
Make them gay, my
Exactly.
nigga. Don't show me a little scene, my nigga,
Right.
at the end of a movie just so you could say, "Look, we're progressive Americans," and then when China says, "Get that shit out of here," we ain't with that.
delete
Oh,
it.
don't worry, China. We'll delete the
That was
scene.
Star Wars.
That's
This
Disney
is the
playing
most
both sides. That's Disney
ingenuous
being
take
trash,
I've ever
my nigga.
seen. Now
Hey,
it's gone
all
to we
day.
didn't see enough gay. We didn't see enough of it, so it's a
No,
problem.
it's
No,
not
here's
that
the
we
thing. No,
didn't-
you
it's
gotta
not
listen.
that
You
we
gotta
didn't
listen, yo.
see enough
have a
gay.
telegraph
It's
like
that
we could
we
No,
not
are
it's not that.
as a
Hold
part of
up. Time out.
Facts. They
Time
want the
out.
money.
Pause.
Let's keep
Dollar
it
dollar
our
The
bills.
problem with it is, the problem with
I
it is,
guarantee you, China gonna be like, "Don't run this in my country," and I guarantee you, it ain't gonna be no gay kiss on no forehead in that movie, my nigga.
So
Oh
they
no,
don't need it.
They
They
probably
don't need it.
the
They
Shabuizi,
gonna chop that
they're
shit
gonna
up.
have to.
the version that they
Shabuizi,
edit out, they gonna
you
put
know
The
another
And they
money
version.
they're
filmed
gonna
it that
have
way,
to.
and they filmed
So-
it that way, which lets
hold
me
up.
know that consciously Disney did this
They
from
on
the
purpose.
beginning.
They
They
did on
planned this
purpose.
from the
Yeah.
beginning,
Look,
and they
look, they
told
did that in
Ryan to
Star
shoot it
Wars.
that way. I got hands for Ryan, my nigga.
Shabarzi,
Yeah.
nigga, you
Ryan
know
ain't
these
shit,
niggas
bro.
capping, bro. You know these niggas capping.
Ryan ain't shit. Disney
Well,
said, "Hey,
no.
Brian, make sure you film this shit, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
You want
actually,
to stay
no.
rich? You want to stay rich, don't you?
Make sure you can film it to the point where you can delete it and it won't
Look,
be a
look,
problem."
look.
Right,
I
because
always
wanna
say,
stay
honestly,
rich, don't you?
if Disney really cared about gay people, they'd have told China to fuck off.
But here's the thing with this
thank you.
argument. This
Facts.
argument seems to only come up when it's like when it's gay people, right? When it's
No,
homosexual.
it came.
I still see
No,
the
hold up,
premise,
hold
my
up. Time
nigga.
out.
It's gonna
They
be
did that
All
with the Star
praise.
Wars movie. The first Star Wars movie, they did that.
We all
Fast and
Literally.
praise.
Eternals
We
was
all
done pretty
praise
well. I
Black
didn't see
Panther. We
anything
know
about
damn well they don't give a fuck about black people, but we still love the movie, right? Just as some people might appreciate, oh, they're gay. Okay, that's cool.
Swag, what's
Even though
your
they know.
problem, bro? What's your problem, bro? Before we get out of here,
Okay.
what is your issue, my dude? What's wrong with you, man?
Okay, this
Just
is my
come out the closet.
issue, and unlike you, I'm gonna be controversial and keep it a buck. All right. So black people, right? And I'm gonna make this general statement, right? Just based off my experiences is what I've seen. Black people are probably the most homophobic people on the planet, my nigga.
Okay.
That's just me keeping it a buck. Just black people, black culture doesn't accept being gay really that much. A lot of
Okay.
reasons why black people even turn conservatives is because they're homophobic. They don't like that gay shit, LGBTQ. They don't like that liberal shit, right? But that's besides.
Okay.
Let's not go politics. So when I hear the arguments, right, and I often hear the arguments like, "Oh, we don't want to see gay things on our TV because of the kids, right? The parents should have the ability to teach their kids that, right? It's like
Yeah.
children should not experience sexuality." But then it's like, let's look at how many Disney movies they have kisses at. How many movies that kids watch. There's,
Man, that's for the women, bruh.
there's all these, there's all these things, right? It's just the arguments are always inconsistency, and it always comes down to that shit makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like it, and I just wish people would keep it a buck, my nigga, because when we go deep and dive into the arguments, it's always some bullshit. It's always inconsistent, my nigga.
Swag, you would have a
People don't want
point.
to get canceled.
I am
Swag,
not.
wait. You would have a point, dog, and you're absolutely right. I kind of agree with what you're saying, but I
Yeah.
think the problem here is that it's two women kissing, and nobody gives a fuck about that, dog.
Thank you.
What do you mean?
It's two women kissing. Black people don't have a problem with two fucking
Yeah,
women kissing,
black
dog.
people. Yeah, if it was two gay people, I'm saying
Good
it would
point.
be more severe if it was two guys.
Good point.
People have-
Hey, Swag. Our culture doesn't care about two black lesbians, but when it's two men kissing,
It's a problem.
it's a problem.
No, you're
It's gonna be
right.
a problem.
You're right. But the point that because you brought it up, it still seems to be an issue.
Hey, let's keep it 1,000.
Yeah.
If it was two black men kissing at the end of this movie, a whole lot of niggas would be like, "That shit weird, bro."
People would have walked
Right, that
out.
shit weird.
Yup.
Me,
Walked
bro.
out.
Yup.
People
Had
walked
it been
out.
two men kissing,
It,
sad,
it would have been a
two
wrap.
Wakandans, my nigga. Had him Baku said, "We are victorious. Come here, my man." Nigga. It would have been niggas protesting
and
against
that-
this shit.
And that's the problem. And that's the problem for me, right? Because Disney isn't brave enough to do
There
that.
would have been a lot of boo.
Disney isn't.
But Jody, do you really think?
Hey, good shit.
But Jody,
Oh,
let me ask
Lord.
you, Jody, do you think that this nigga's being honest when he says he had a problem with Peggy and Cap?
Heck no, that nigga capping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
No.
not capping. It added nothing to the movie, bro.
That nigga, okay. Well,
Look,
I think it's capping.
Look, that kiss
there
for
it is.
Peggy and
Go ahead, Lottie. I'll let you have something to say before we.
that kiss for with Peggy and thing was bred like it was already in for a dude. They already had that plan from like a damn movie ago. That's the issue.
So now
It was
you're
just
right.
bam, there you
That's
go,
a
it's
good
in your
point.
face.
That's a good
I
point
mean, it
too.
didn't add anything to the movie.
Bro, let's keep it a
I'm-
buck. Hey, Jody, everybody that's watching right now, let's keep it a buck. I have a perfect scene to disprove everything you niggas are saying. Let's say they're about.
Hey, my nigga. The simple fact. I'm gonna let you have this because you desperately need a win tonight, my nigga. So go ahead and let you do this last little thing, and hopefully you get a W for this.
If let's say they're about to prepare to go against Namor into war, right? And you see two random Wakandans, right? You don't need build up. This whole we need build up to see kisses is bullshit, right? We all understand how humans work. We know males and feminine. We know people can fall in love, right? And let's say a man and a woman just say, "For Wakanda, my love," and they kiss each other right before going into war. Ain't nobody gonna have a problem with that shit, my nigga. It's out of nowhere.
Because that's a norm, nigga. That's what they did in the old days.
Exactly. Okay. So you're appealing. So you're appealing to what's normal?
Normality.
We up
Yeah.
here,
What
dog.
culture is, yo.
It's
Nature and shit, I
tradition.
guess.
It's called
Yeah.
tradition. That's how
The
it
word
works.
I use,
It's called bigotry, my nigga.
the word
It's
that
called
I
bigotry.
use is natural. Natural.
It's called
Naturalistic
bigotry.
things.
Wait, natural? Who said that?
Somebody else said that shit. I don't know. Hey, W
Oh.
Swag. Shout out to you, my nigga.
So
Hey,
is it
shout out
like
to my
animals
gay
and shit?
subscribers. Hey, I'm sus out here, bro. LGBTQ all day, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Lottie, Swag, L. Shout out to Shabuzi coming through and bringing that substance and shit. I thought it was a more of an African thing, but Shabuzi said, I think it's more of a third world country thing. What do you guys think
I
about
think
that?
it's more of a bigotry
Shout out to
thing.
Shout out to Young Thunder. I bet you do. I bet you do. Shout out to Young Thundercat. Shout out to my dog 5-Star. I'm glad that you're a good supporter by the 5-Star. I didn't mean to insult anybody.
No,
of
I
this
mean I didn't
kind
get
of,
offended or
culture.
nothing. My thing is they didn't show representation for either
Yeah, freak your
culture, bro.
representation,
Like
nigga.
Yeah,
that
I don't think neither one of us
representation
got
was trash for
represented.
both.
Them trying to appease us both, 5-Star. None of us got appeased.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
what
like they could
happens.
have done
Shout out to my
both.
girl
They
Trixie.
didn't
She
do
held her
it.
own. She did her shit. Shout out to my dog Flash. Shout out to my dog JB. Shout out to E-Man. Shout out to Salad Ward. Thank you guys so very much for being here. I appreciate y'all, man. We out this thing. The deuces told you that we leaving. All right, y'all. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Wakanda forever, y'all. Don't forget. Wakanda forever, y'all. Don't forget. Wakanda forever, y'all. She's on repeat. Wakanda forever, y'all. Peace out, y'all. I'll see y'all, man. Jody's Corner, baby. Hey, Swag. I could do this all day. Thanks to Swag Coggin for pulling up. Shabuizi. He's still your master. E-Man homophobic, bro. Shout out to my gay subs, bro. Love y'all, man. JC for life.